Alright, so Squish's litter box I'm starting to do in the morning instead of at night, because I just need to go to bed at night. Like, I need to go to bed, so. Hours in the day to do all the stuff that I do. I just have to wait till the next day. Like, when Karina was younger, I used to just drop stuff and be like, look, don't care about the house, whatever, my baby is way more important. Well, somewhere along the way, I'm just like, oh, I can't get everything done again. Ha 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 ha, no, I can't. Oh, I can't. I need to sleep. There we go. It's sprouting roots. See that? It didn't have any roots on it when I brought it home from the store. But now look at that. Look at the roots that are on this lettuce plant. Yes, it's in a baby bottle, but I have extra baby bottles, so that's okay. And we don't use baby bottles in this house. I just use them for pumping. So see that? See the roots? When I dig up my second plot, because I haven't done that yet, I am going to be putting store-bought lettuce in there and letting it grow. James called me a slob yesterday. He was like, oh, yours are just... It's like, I clean up after 4 people, pretty much. Squish is not a people. He's a cat, but he's still someone I'm constantly cleaning up after, feeding, taking care of, brushing. Like, I have 4 people to freaking clean up after. It's not just myself. Like, damn. How could I be with someone who thinks I'm absolutely nothing? But it's whatever. It's what it is. It could be worse. And Sally, he said a whole bunch of other things, but that was the one thing that just stood out. It's like, you don't clean up after yourself. You don't do anything around here. You go to work, you come home, and feel like you're entitled to everything. I wish I could make him see the stuff that women do and have him value it. Like, I even posted something and he was like, oh, yeah, women might think that they have it so hard in the morning. That goes through more than this, just, you know, in the morning. I'm like, yeah, dude, he's talking about the morning. Like, you didn't realize how hard it was to get kids out of the house. Like, ugh, it's whatever. He's never taken care of Karina for it, like, the day or taking her out anywhere by himself, so I don't want him to. James loses his cool too fast. But that's what it is. It's whatever. Just have to remind myself that I wanted a baby. I wanted this, and this is what this turned into, so it is whatever. He can play the hardship card that he has at home so hard, and he thinks I do nothing but play all day, which I do. I play a lot of the day with my daughter, and, you know, I won't just cater to every whim he has anymore, because I don't have enough time to. He's not home, or I just don't have the time to. So chicken salad sandwiches I made yesterday. So yeah, it's just whatever. And like, I wish I could make him see all the stuff I'm doing, or all the stuff I'm trying to do. Like, I try to show him. But, you know, it's just, I don't tell him about our day, really. Like, he doesn't really care. You know? It's whatever. Just the way I'm feeling this morning after yesterday, so we're just gonna get up. I'm gonna clean. Eventually like Karina up. We're gonna go to the play date. We're gonna go to the mad science thing. I need to pack lunches before we go. We'll be back later. Deal with everything later. Right now I just need to get James ready for work and off to work. My kid's adorable from the time she opens her eyes. She's like, no, I can't read it. You read it. She's like, I want to read the ice cream book. She goes, Mama. I come in here. I'm like, yes, Angel. She's like, I want to read the ice cream book. I hand her. I'm like, okay, let's find it. I found it. I hand it to her. And she goes, no, I can't read it. You read it. Right? Are you the cutest? Are you the darn cutest? Okay, look. Here, a circle here, a square there. A circle here, a square there. Do you know what we're doing today? Going to the splash pad. Mama's getting ready while you're sleeping. But you're the last thing I need to put in the car. I'm all done. A circle here, a square there. I love you. Oh, I love you so much. Oh, my baby. Oh. A circle here, a square there. Circle. Circle, 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 circle. Square. Look at that square present. Square. Triangle. Triangle. 1, 2, 3. Rectangle. Quadrilateral. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oval. Oval. Heart. Heart is not a polygon. A kite is a polygon. The two on the top are the same, and the two on the bottom are the same. They called it a diamond, but a diamond and a rhombus, I believe, are the same. And this is not a rhombus, because they don't have equal sides. Star. Star. Crescent. Octagon. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Like an octopus. Octagon. The end. Do you want to take this book with you? No, you don't. Are you sure? I'm sure you don't want to take the book with you. Well, good morning. It's 11:08. So we gotta go. We're already running a little bit late. It's gonna take us 20 minutes or so to get there. 30 minutes to get there. Depending on traffic, how fast I could go. No, I'm not gonna go fast. But we gotta go. But good morning, my angel. Did you dream about anything? You were talking about Rosie in your sleep. You dream about Rosie? Mama loves you till the end of the earth and back again. Mama loves you. You're my good little baby girl. You okay? We're gonna have a fun day today. I packed sandwiches and kale and carrots and some lettuce for you in the morning. Some apples. We have lots of good stuff to eat. And we have some water. Okay. You're all set for a day of adventure. We're gonna have so much fun. You remember what we're doing today? We're gonna go to the splash pad and play. And then we're gonna go to eat lunch, right? And then
the books was the splash pad.
You wanna bring books down to the splash pad? You can bring them in the car or to the splash pad where all the water is. We don't want the books to get wet, but we could take them to the park area. I'll take one book with us. Do you want to take the circle and square book? The circle here, square there? Or do you want to pick out a different book? We have the piano book in the car, too.
No, get wet.
No, none of them are going to get wet. Mama will make sure of it, okay?
Go on a bench.
We'll go on the bench. That's very good thinking. We'll do that. Okay?
Put them on a bench with it.
Okay.
And they will not get wet.
That's right. That's right. Oh, you're right.
You will not get wet till you will stay on a bench.
They'll stay on the bench. Yeah. Okay. What books do you want to bring? You want to go pick out some books? Or do you want some nighttime books? What books do you want to bring?
Will not get wet till they will not get wet.
Do you want to do story time at the splash pad?
They will stay on the bench.
They'll stay on the bench. You think they're going to just stay on the bench all day?
Yeah.
Is that what we're going to do? Yeah. Will you say it one more time? No. But yeah, they won't get wet. What books do you want to bring? What books? The baby is so cute. What books do you want to bring, baby?
I begin the pear.
The pear? Is there a pear book? Where is it?
Under you.
Under me? No, I just have this book. A circle here, a square there. That's all I have. You want to bring this book? You want to keep this book on the bench?
Bring two books on the bench. We will not bring 3 books at the bench. We will not keep them wet.
That's right. We won't get them wet.
Them on the bench.
That's right. It's toothpaste.
All over your face.
Yeah, I brushed your teeth last night in the dark. Because I was falling asleep after I sang her song. She fell asleep, and then I felt really guilty. I didn't brush her teeth yet. It was like...
How was your sleep? Did you have any good dreams? What did you dream about?
She was talking about Rosie in her sleep.
Go away. Go away.
You want me to go away?
Yeah.
Okay. Alright, I see how it is. Papa will go away.
You okay?
Papa goes away.
Yeah, because you told him to. He has to listen to you.
Papa goes me.
What?
Papa, go closer to me.
Papa, go closer to her. Papa went back to work. Yeah, Papa has to go into work soon. Do you want to give Papa a hug before we go? Because it's 11:16. We gotta go. You want to go give Papa a hug?
Community splash pad.
Community splash pad. It's everyone's. It belongs to everyone in the community. We don't belong to that community. We're a couple neighboring communities, but we still get to go too.
I don't want to go to.
You don't want to go to the splash pad? Where do you want to go instead?
A new toy park.
A new toy park? So you just want me to find you a new toy park today? You're going to have so much fun this afternoon. Don't worry about the splash pad. You'll have fun at the splash pad too. Okay, we gotta go. You understand? You want to get going? You want to get going? Oh, I'm sorry.
Go away.
Who, me? Well, I gotta get you up. We gotta go.
Go away.
Fine, I'll go away. Okay. I need to put this stuff in the car anyway. So you want to bring this book with us? We'll keep it on the bench? Okay. You.
Don't get wet.
It won't get wet. Okay.
Go away, too.
Right, so we are running late. It's 11:29. It took us that long to leave the house, but Karina woke up and she was being like really cute. I actually woke her up, I think at like 11. So we would have been late regardless because the play date started at 11. I thought it was 11 to 2, and then I have another event at 4. So I was like, oh, that's perfect. And I looked at it again, and apparently it's at 11 to 12. I just didn't see the 1. I'm like, 11 to 12? Like, how can it be only an hour? Like, at the splash pad? Like, for a play date? I don't know. So I'm hoping that everyone just stays longer. I doubt everyone's going to be like, oh, okay, it's 12 o'clock. Let's go. Unless, like, no one packed a lunch or whatever. But, I mean, I tend to just pack lunches and extra clothes and socks and whatever. And, just roll with the day because... I'm not going to drive all the way back home for, like, a nap or, like, a change of clothes or something, If we're already out, we're out. We're done. Like, as soon as we get out of the house, like, the hardest part is leaving the house. So there's no way I'm going to go back to the house, like, during intervals of my day. Like, be like, oh, park, home, library, home. Like, I don't have enough gas money to just, step off at home all the time, and I don't stay in my neighborhood usually. So, like, it's just too far away. So... once we get out of the house, we just go from like, oh, activity. Let's find something to do. Activity. Let's find something to do. Oh, you're hungry? We have food. Whatever. Stuff like that. So today is going to be so much fun. James is working from home. He's still having a lot of trouble and issues with his project. I should have realized how stressful this week was going to be for him because he's committed himself to a party on Saturday, and then I'm like, oh yeah, let's just go to the beach and do this and do that. We're already going to be out there, whatever. And I'm thinking I could like have all this time to like prepare food and pack and whatever. And I don't have it. Like I didn't know when this thing was, or else I would have not scheduled like everything like I normally do. Like my schedule wouldn't be jam packed, and then I have no time to do anything. But my schedule is jam packed, and I have no time to pack food or like whatever. And I'm gonna be switching off cars from my normal everyday car to James's car, and there's nothing in James's car really. We have a tent in there that I never took out because I packed it in there, and then he didn't help me pack. And we're going camping next weekend anyway, so I'm just like, well, the camping trip is next weekend, and I'm not gonna unpack it and then repack it, just leave it in there, whatever. He doesn't like that he has a tent in his car. Yeah, whatever. And he also has an airbag in his car because I'm not sleeping on the ground. And he's not sleeping on the ground. I'm not making Karina sleep on the ground, so... And I kind of already feel like I'm camping anyway. The way that we live. Like, I just feel like we're kind of like, oh, we live in a bunch of cabins. It's really nice in the summer and really junky in the winter and whatever, I kind of feel like a camper all the time. Except for, like, I have running water, and, you know, I like my house, though, I really do. Like, you know, I like the feeling of camping.
In a quarter mile, turn left.
Turn left. On a road. Somewhere around here. But, yeah. It's been a really good morning. Karina's been really funny. This morning, like, she was talking about Rosie.
Turn left.
And then, I don't know. She didn't tell us about her dream, though. So, yeah, no. But no, today's going to be an awesome day, regardless of...
Continue straight.
...how late we are to this meetup. I don't know. I like knowing when the events are, basically. I don't know. Hopefully we make friends out of this meetup group. So far, like, you know, one of the girls is, like, really nice and, you know, really open, and, like, she's honestly really open. She's just hard to connect with for, like, scheduled events.
In a quarter mile, turn right.
And that's fine that she doesn't have a smartphone. It's just I don't have enough time to, like, plot out my schedule over the, like, I guess she doesn't get photos. I don't know. Because I sent her, like, photos of, like, oh, want to do this with us? Apparently she can't get them.
Turn right.
So, yeah, there's that. And I'm just like, I don't have it. Like, you know, she's like, oh, I can't see most of what you sent me. And I'm like, oh, and she sent me her...
Continue straight.
I don't know how to do that. I do know how to send her, like, a file on the computer, but that requires me to go into my calendar on my computer and take a screenshot somehow. And, well, I know how to take a screenshot through video games, so it's probably like the same thing. It's just like screen. It says screen or something on it, or print screen it says. It's like PRTSCN or something like that. And I guess that would work for, like, the calendar too. I don't feel like doing all the extra legwork. And that probably sounds bad, but I'm just so busy already, and I'm so tired most of the time, and I just don't feel like doing the extra 10 minutes or however long it's going to take me. Like, you know, like, James was making comments yesterday, and it's just like, dude, don't you realize I have 4 people I am taking care of, and you want to add in another human being? Like, he doesn't get what I do right now, and he's not going to get it with another child added in the mix. He doesn't seem to care, and I don't need to validate myself to anybody. I don't need to be like, oh my gosh, like, you know, I'm not going to sit there and be like, you don't understand, here, take her for 2 days. Like, you know, my child is awesome, and don't get me wrong, my child is awesome. She's very well behaved for a 2-year-old, very well behaved. But, you know, that takes a lot of consistency from my part, too, because, you know, if she does something wrong, I do have to give her a timeout. Like, you know, it takes a lot of time and effort and work to make that behavior happen, you know? But still, my child is still only 2. Like, she's going to throw a tantrum between events. Like, and James expects her behavior to be like, jumping on the bed, like, way up. And I'm just like, she is 2, James. Like, she's 2, you know? But, you know, it is what it is, and I don't want to lose, like, 2 days with my daughter to have a validation and be like, aha, you know, like, I don't want to do that. So I'm just gonna let it go and let it slide and let it whatever. Like, and I'm actually really proud of James, like, because he blew up yesterday. I'm guessing he had a bad day at work. I don't know. We didn't even talk about our days to each other. I showed him, like, videos from my day, like, to be like, hey, look at what we did. And he's like, see, you do nothing but have fun all day. Look at you. And, you know, whatever. But I don't know. I don't need to validate it. And no, but he went outside yesterday. Like, he got really mad. We went to the bedroom and, you know, just played and did whatever. And then when he came back in, he dropped the subject. He moved on. He didn't even, nothing. He didn't yell. He didn't scream. He didn't threaten anything. He just calmed himself down outside. Like, I think he just stayed outside until he rationalized it in his head. He didn't apologize. You know, he thought it was my fault. He thought I was being mean to him. From the moment he got home. Like, he got home, I was home. Like, I just had gotten home. I just parked the car, and then here he comes driving in, and I'm like, oh my gosh, he could help me with the groceries. Why would I ever think that? Like, why would I ever think, oh my gosh, he can help me with the groceries? He's not going to help me with the groceries. He thinks that that's my job completely, even though I think that's kind of like a male's job because the groceries are heavy. Like, you know, like, why would I ever be like, oh my gosh, you could help me? Like, why would I ever do that? You know, like, I don't know. But, you know, it's just me being kind of like, oh, and him thinking that I was like bashing his music, because all I said was, look, I could feel your music from out here. Not only can I hear it, but I can feel your music from out. I'm like, why is it so loud? That's all. I didn't criticize it. I did like nothing. I did nothing to deserve that. But like, he thought I criticized his music, and he thought that I was critical towards the volume. No, I am concerned about his hearing. He already has tinnitus. He already can't hear things. He already has his stupid TV and video games competing against each other, you know? It's already competing noise, so he has everything so loud. And I'm just worried. I'm concerned that he's going to go deaf, and then he's going to get angry because he can't hear. Like, you know, that's going to cause a lot of issues and problems for me and for him and for our children, like, if he can't hear, you know. So I'm concerned. I'm concerned about his health, because he likes to eat what he likes to eat. He doesn't like to eat sometimes the food that I prepare for him, because he wants to eat, you know, the takeout sometimes. And then he adds salt to all of his meals. I'm just like, you're just trying to kill yourself. I mean, like, you saw a couple of years ago, your salt levels were too high, and then I took all the salt out of the food, and then your salt levels normalized, and then he's adding salt to everything, and I'm like, you're just trying to kill yourself. Like, what are you doing? He's like, oh no, salt is good for you. You need the iodine. Yeah, I get that you need the iodine, but you just use the soy sauce. I don't know. I think I'm lost, actually. I don't know where I am, but I'm gonna check the map. I think I'm close, so just don't know exactly where it is. Alright, we're on the right track. I just didn't realize it was this far down. So, yeah, I'm just concerned for his health and his hearing, and he took my concern as something...
Turn left. Then, you will arrive at your destination.
You know, I can't control what he does, and I realize that, and I know that. I don't try to control anything that he does, and I just have to be like, you know, it's his health. He has to be concerned about it for himself. Like, the other day, he lost his phone charger connector and wound up in the washer and the dryer, and I'm like, oh, here, it's in the dryer. Check to see if it still works. It did still work, but I'm like, you have to keep a better eye on this. You know, I'm not checking pockets, because you can't empty your pockets. So, you know, certain things he has to be responsible for. Certain things, for especially something that's small and that's expensive, you know. Like, I don't want to replace that. So he's coming up with all this stuff that he needs for his phone. He needs a VR set. He's saying he's going to create a game off of it, which I am very supportive of. So I'm like, next month we'll get you a VR set. I'll put it into my budget. And then he's like, oh, well, I need a phone screen protector too. And I'm like, okay, well, we'll see what we can do. And like, so he's coming up with...
You have arrived.
I'm like, okay, we'll see. So hopefully we can get him everything that he wants. Wow, this place is packed. Hopefully we can find... Oh, look at that. Do. That is the slide? That one's going to be an all-you slide, baby.
I just wanted to show you.
Is it hot? You okay? Want me to pick you up? Oh, sorry. That's okay. She's just trying to stand up. It's a little baby. Whoa. You got it? Good job. No, she just wants to do what all the other kids are doing. Nothing to be sorry about. You wanna go in the water? Wanna go on here? My baby. my baby. Well, I guess it's the best merry-go-round in town. Go, Karina! Yay! Good job, baby! Alright, do you want to go eat? Are you hungry?
I am not running.
Do you want to go on the splash?
It's a little hot for mommy to run.
Baby, you want to go on the splash pad? Or do you want to go eat? Are you hungry? You're just fascinated with the go-around, huh? Look at you trying to push, baby. Good job, Karina. They have bigger legs than you. You're going to fall down if you spin it. They're bigger. Want to go play in the igloo or play order up? What did we get to order today? What is it? What is it? You share? Hi. What are we ordering? What is it? Is it noodles? What is it? A cake. Oh, thank you for the cake, Angel. Are you actually hungry? Do you want to go eat lunch? Mama brought sandwiches and stuff. Carrots, kale, sandwiches. Are you hungry? Yeah. We are ordering. What else is there to order? Yeah, she is ordering. Hi.
Okay, well.
Find another way in. Are you gonna climb? Oh my goodness. You're gonna climb too? Carry on.
Stop!
Okay, fine.
That's my
You're trying to be one of the big kids, huh? No, she's on that side. Why don't you come try on this side?
Why do you have an umbrella?
Look, try on this side.
Why
I'll
do
get you
have an
off
umbrella?
because it's sunny out.
One who beats me up. Well, she doesn't beat me up. We always fight. And I'm having I already had a baby brother.
Wow. Watch your hands. Wait. Okay. Watch your hands, baby. Watch your feet.
Who's out there? There. Hey.
Yay, look at you.
Okay, I'll do it. Oh, okay, here.
Good climbing. Good job. Yeah, absolutely. Good job, baby. inside the house. Is this our house? She's driving. Let her have her turn, okay? Wanna go play with the bongo drums? No? Wanna go on the slide? Oh, see? Her turn's all done. Good driving. Go ahead. I'm gonna try this again. All right, let's see you try. Good job. Turn around. Turn around. You gotta let's try it again. Turn around. Climb down the other way. Around. Face the other way. Spin. Turn all the way around. Okay, do it like that, then that's perfect. Good job. I'm right here. Okay. You gotta see. You're not really big enough to do this yet, baby. Seesaw. You wanna go on the seesaw? There's one open. That was a good job, though. What is it doing? Oh, wait. There she is. Because it's raining, it's pouring. So cute. Are we back to this really? Let me go down first. Let me go down first. Karina.
No. Don't go down.
I have to go down first. I have to be on the bottom.
No.
I have to. You're gonna fall. You're gonna fall. Now you go. Yes, now you go. Go ahead, try. You're still a little. There you go. Go down the slide. Watch out though, because she's coming up. Ready? I know, you're still so little. The ladder's so big. I need to get more sunblock on you. Alright, let's take a break. Go back to the car. Get more sunblock on, okay? It's not really an option. We kind of have to. Is it raining? Where is it raining? It's raining? Okay. She was running. Go in the car seat? Okay. What are we singing? Now it's what? Oh no, he's good. Where are you going? Back to this? You going to that? Go ahead.
Get up.
Yeah, you have your shoes on. They're a little too big, but you got them on. Mama just hasn't made it down to the store yet. Yay! Good job.
Don't do it.
Okay, you do it. Yay! Good job, guys. Order up.
No, you can't order up.
I can't order up. I can't order anything? So there's nothing in the shop today? Nothing in the shops? I'm gonna get you. Are you in your safe spot? What's supposed to mom to go? I don't know. Oh, whatever. You wanna go back in the go round? All right. She's gonna get on. Ready? 1, 2. Do you wanna go on? Oh wait, do you wanna push? She's apparently gonna help push. This is new today. Up, wait. Whoa. Yay, Karina! Good pushing, baby. Yay! Good job, baby. Okay, don't push with her. Her legs are bigger. She's gonna go much faster, okay? Come here. You're gonna fall down if you push with her. Do you wanna go in the water? Up.
How about this? You trying to get on? That's why we wore it.
Okay, don't push with her. Karina, her legs are bigger. She's older than you, baby, so she goes faster. That was very smart how you slowed it down, and then you continued pushing. That was very good. Oh, you're gonna do it again? You're gonna slow it down and then go? Very smart, baby. Good job. Good job. I'm very proud of you. Up. You're not gonna be able to push with her, honey. All right, come on. You okay? Do you want to go in the spray? Do you want to go inside of it? Do you want to go to the spray pad? Do you want to go to the swing? You want to go inside now? Okay. I'll have you. I'll put you in, okay? Hold on. She wants to push. All right, let go. Let go. Watch out. Karina. Karina, you can't push with them. In like the next 2 years, you can push with him, but right now you can't, okay? Let go. Come on. They're too big. Do you want to go on the swings? Okay, now's your opportunity. Go push, baby. There you go. Good job, honey. Time. Yay! Baby! Come on, baby, go back in. To be on the other side, take your expression. Yay! Go into the drain. I should have my shoes, but I don't. Go, baby! Oh, she's going away from it! Is that so much fun? Watch out, he's coming down. Peekaboo! Wanna drive? I'll be in the car seat. All right, what are we doing? Yeah. Toys at home? That's a good idea. Do. Oh. Go, baby. Yay! You okay? Come on up. She wants to go down. Come on up. Okay. Baby. Ready? Okay. Yeah. Look at you. See, he's on the other side. Yay! You can't reach it without me, so if you want to go down, you can't reach it anymore. Alright, go ahead. Get these ones at the end. And get these ones in the middle. Are you having fun? You want to go back in the water? Yay! Do you have dollies at home? Oh, she's trying to talk to the other little kid. Yay! That's where you want to sit? Okay.
The first word. The first word. No, when I say hi.
You okay, baby? You gonna get off? You gonna get off? I think you should get more sunblock on you. I think it wore off. Lift up your foot. There you go. Good baby. The ground is very hot, yeah. There you go. I see you. Who do you say I see you to? Good climbing. Good job. All right. All right. Are you hungry? She is eating a banana. Very good. Are you hungry?
I have a banana too.
I don't have bananas, but I have apples. You want an apple? Are you hungry? You want a sandwich? You gonna run through it? You gonna run through the sprinkler? Look, go play with those ones over there. I kind of want you to eat, baby. Oh, I like your camera. do. She wants ranch dressing for the carrots that I gave her. No, you're not gonna eat them? You usually eat them without the ranch. Eat the carrots. They're good for you. Eat them. There you go. Want some lettuce? Or some kale? Yeah, it's so good, right? Who are you, Sam I am? Yeah, Sam I am, Sam I am. I do not like green salad. You're so clever. One more? Little monkey? Yeah, like a baby. Oh, is that Clementine? I think that Corey or someone got James a gift. He got headsets or gaming headsets. It says, "Hey, Jim, since we had some headset problems, I decided to get you a backup pair for those tough times. Please take care of them and keep them just for us for those really need-to-use situations. See you on the playing field." That says play field, not playing, but whatever. Send a thank you notice. Oh, baby. I'm paying my bills in the car. That's what I'm doing. We're gonna go down to the mall, I think, and go play inside. It's really, really, I don't know, my kid just likes to merry-go-round here. So, we're gonna head out going. But yeah, it's been a good day so far. I ran into some people from the mom's group, one mom's group, one from the other mom's group. It was really good to see Kaja and I forget the other lady's name already. It starts with an F. I think it's Felicia, but somewhere around there. Something with an F. I don't know, but she's a really nice lady though. She's like, "Oh, did you hear about Devon's babies?" I'm like, yeah, I did. We talked a little bit about that. And then she went off after her kid, and, you know, my kid was in the stroller, though, so. But yeah, I'm gonna pack up the car, get Karina in her car seat. Yeah, that's right, that's your barrette. Do you want it in your hair?
Yeah.
Okay. Crazy mama driving? Do you think mama's crazy mama driving? Yeah, the radio doesn't work in here, Angel.
Yeah.
Let me see your face. Look at mama. Oh, look at you pressing all the buttons. She just presses all the buttons. Baby. There's my girl. You're a little sun-kissed, huh? Button presses. Don't pull on it, okay? I don't want it to come off. Have any idea how lucky of a baby you are? You get to do basically whatever you want. Alright, you ready to go to the mall? Karina Bean, wanna go to the mall? No, you're pressing buttons right now? Alright, I'm gonna go pack things up. Alright, so we got back to the car and I was like, well, let's go to the mall. Karina wanted another snack. So she had a snack and she's still eating her snack actually. So I cleaned up the car and I opened up the club soda and she spilled it in the front seat. I'm like, oh, well, that happens. So I'm like, let's get a towel. We put a towel on it. Still drying. Okay. And yeah, we're just having a nice relaxing time outside in the parking lot instead of going somewhere else. I'm guessing that we'll go somewhere else soon though because our class is at 4:30 for the Mad Science. So I want to go somewhere in between that, but honestly we might just end up going to Mad Science. Or just going to the library and waiting for Mad Science because there has to be stuff to do at that library. It's a new library. I've never been there. Alright, so we could go check it out and see how much fun it is. I was going to take her to the mall, actually, to the indoor play zone. Because it's just, the equipment is just so hot. And my kid is just interested in the go-around and, you know, the slide and stuff. And it's just, yeah, I kind of brought her here for the water because that's like the attraction to the park, but she had some fun with the water today too, though. Right? You had fun in the water.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So.
I'm going in the water.
You did go in the water for a little bit. And we ran into some of the mom's group, so it was really nice. And
I saw your golden path.
yeah, we've been singing that song, huh? You've been singing that song, really. Not a silver nutmeg and a golden pear. The King of Spain's daughter came to visit me, all for the sake of that little nut tree. Look at that beautiful green-eyed baby.
As for her little nut tree.
Yeah. You are adorable, Karina. You know that?
Mama.
Yes, Angel.
It's for the golden path.
It's for the golden pear. That's why you're giving me chalk and a ball. Very cool. Maybe in the shade we could use
It's
the
for
chalk.
my golden path too.
Good, I'm glad. No, we had a really good lunch today, so it's been a good day all in all.
And pink and a bar.
Yeah. And my car's cleaned out yet again. I keep cleaning it out and it just keeps getting messy, and then I keep cleaning it out again. So, you know, it's just life though.
I'm squeezing the ball like an egg.
Yes, you are. You're gonna pop it, huh? Look at you making dents in it. You're so strong. My strong baby.
I'm squeezing the egg for you in the bowl.
Okay. Do you want to get going? Are you done with your snack? Baby doll? Are you all done?
I'm squeezing the egg. Hello.
There you go.
That's the egg.
Thank you. Don't you put that in your mouth. Hey, hey, hey. Yuck. That's not what you like the taste of that.
On a pan.
Yeah, pretend to eat it. Don't actually put it in your mouth, though, okay?
The pan to eat.
You pretend to eat soup?
Yeah.
You're a good girl. But yeah, we're packed up. We're ready to go. Car's clean. I haven't received a telephone call from James yet, which is surprising. Normally he calls by noon or before noon. So
I'm eating egg.
we just to check to see that I am up and doing whatever, and to see, check and see where we're at and stuff like that. That's why he calls me. And then to tell me about his day. Usually. He had such a bad day. Talked to Eva for a little bit, but I guess she was busy. Her phone clicked over and never really came back, so I just hung up. I was like, yeah, she must be on with someone else or something, or maybe the hallway drowned out the phone call or something.
That's what the royal, not trees.
Yeah, but I talked to her in her hallway before though, didn't I? I don't know. Well, whatever. She went to Walmart. She's getting ready for the beach herself. I'm gonna be getting ready for the beach too. She got chairs and stuff. Well, she's pregnant, so she can't just sit on the sand, you know. She needs to be up a little bit. So she got some chairs for $5 a piece, which is really good. And she got the kids some stuff like that. And we're just gonna bring. We live so far away from the
That's for the
ocean.
royal, not tree.
Yeah.
You
So
had a royal, not tree, not in royal back.
yeah.
Civil, not bay, and go
Golden
to
pay.
Since daughter came to visit me over the same. My little nut.
Yay! I'm
Okay.
so proud of you. Okay.
Where's the nut tree? It can't share boss.
Mm-hmm.
We can't share boss.
Yes, we can.
Okay.
Thank you. Oh, mine's up. Bouncing on the seat. See, of course not, Mama.
Of course, Mom.
Bouncing here, though. Alright, can we get going?
It's heavy.
It is heavy. Can we get going? Karina Beans.
Swing in the bucket.
You are swinging in the bucket. Can we get going? Are you all done with your snack? Little baby girl?
That's the
Let me
same
check
over.
how far away this is. Alright, I've been thinking about this a lot. Just today, I looked at the budget, and I was looking at the account. I'm like, how did this money get spent? You know? But, yeah, if you are with somebody, talk to them about finances and what they think that money should be used for, whether it should be saved and used for the future, whether it should be, you know, just oh, well, every day is precious, and you never know, we might die tomorrow with money. Every day is precious. You don't know if you're going to die tomorrow. Get out of your house and do something with your day. I completely agree with the sentiment. But, I mean, you don't have to spend money to have a ton of fun. I realize I go to a bunch of kids' activities. But there are, on the coin side of it, there are adult activities that you could go to with your other adult friends that are free. There's free sailing, all right? There's free cruises. There is so much free. It is unbelievable. You know, if you like to fish and you're a guy, there's free fishing. If you like to golf, there's free golfing. If you like sailing, guys and girls like sailing, there's free sailing. I know some women love to fish too. there's so much that you can do for free. But, like, financially speaking, if you're with somebody who walks into the store, spends $50, walks out and goes, yeah, I spent $50. And you go, well, what did you spend the money on? He's like, and the person's like, I don't know. Really sit down with that person financially and be like, this is what I like to do with my money. What do you like to do with your money? Wow, that was scary. That motorcycle next to me. But, like, let me move up a little bit. I usually stay about 2 cars away, so I have plenty of room to move up a little bit away from the motorcycle guy. But, yeah, just, like, really talk to your partner, financially speaking, because if you guys don't agree money-wise and, like, your partner is just a spendthrift and likes to spend money, and you are a saver and you like to save money, it's just such a headache, especially when you eventually, that guy is so dangerous, have to keep to a budget. He doesn't even have on any leather. He's wearing a green shirt and a pair of just pants, like shorts, black shorts. And I'm like, oh my gosh. But make sure it's right. It's pretty short. Oh, look at that. So cool. Want to build with the blocks? Karina? Come here.
I picked up the 10. No, it was 10.90. So a jack of spade or a 7.
That here and hold it back.
You want me to do the puppet?
They're funny.
You want me to take the crayons, do you?
No, you can't take it.
I thought you were sharing the crayons with me. You want me to eat them?
No.
So what's your name?
Green.
Karina. Nice to meet you. Do you want to know what my name is?
You want to play with me and
I do. Can I have a crayon? My name is Banana Beak. My name is Pink and Yellow Banana Beak.
I'll open them for you.
Okay.
Open them.
Let's see you open them.
Open them.
You want me to open them? Banana Beak. Oh, this is so hard. Whoa.
Oh.
Yeah.
Let's draw.
That's you.
Draw. A purple.
A purple.
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 This is purple.
That is. That's purple? You like that purple. Let me smell it.
I like it. I like to draw.
Yeah. Look at it. You said your name was Karina, right? How do you spell Karina?
A-L-B. Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday to you. That's how you spell it. Happy birthday to you. Oh no, my Karina's gone. What happened? I just had one and then it went missing and I had one again. Banana Beaks wants the green. Okay, Banana Beak's gonna get this color.
It's on a page.
It is on the paper. Boop, boop.
Let's hold them.
Okay.
Hi, Radioactive Rick.
Hi, Radioactive Rick.
Thank you. Now, we're going to do lots of cool stuff today. Where? At school? At Cub Scouts. Yeah, a lot of people have seen it because I go to school and I go to Cub
There's my
Scouts,
girl.
and Girl Scouts and libraries. I go all
All right,
over.
do you want to go find a seat?
Yes. No. Now, before I get started, we're going to do lots of cool stuff. But I have some rules I would like everybody to follow. These are really, really, really important. Is everybody listening?
Yeah.
Okay, listen. Rule number 1, is I need everybody to make sure you're nice and quiet. No talking when the silly man with the lab coat is talking. I want to make sure you guys can hear me. Have your listening ears on. Very important. If you want to say something, please don't shout out. What do you think you should do? Raise your hand. Rule number 2 is I want to see everybody sitting on your bottoms crisscross applesauce. Thank you, thank you, thank you. That's so everybody can see. Because if you get up on your knees, then somebody behind you might not be able to see. So as long as you're all sitting down on your bottoms, up in a good mood. So here's what we're going to do. I have 3 cups, and they are my favorite color. Yellow, green, orange, red, blue. Okay, blue. So we're going to take our cups, and I have here a glass with some water in it. This is actually called a beaker. No, I'm not going to drink it, silly. I'm going to pour all the water into this cup. Every last drop. Like that. Shh, guys, remember, no talking. That was rule number 1, right? So what I'm going to do is you guys have to remember which cup has the water in it. And I'm going to put it next to these cups, and then I'm going to start to mix them up really fast and try to confuse you so you forget which cup has the water in it. So you really got to pay attention, okay? So I'm going to put the water right there, and then I'm going to go like this. Now where is it? Now where is it? And then what if I mix these 2 up? It didn't change?
No.
Then what if I go like this? Then I go like this. Oh, not that one. You guys are too good at this. I feel like I tricked you. So where is it? The middle. Would you like to see me pour it on my head? Yeah. And make myself soaking wet? See, you were wrong. I told you I was going to trick you. Pick another one. Which one is it? This one? Let's see. This one right here.
What?
What? Ooh, I made the water disappear, right? The water was in the cup, and now it is gone. Yes, sir.
I know how you did it.
Would you like to tell everybody how I did it?
You put powder in the 1 cup, and then you put water in it, and then the powder water, and then you put something in it, and then you...
Do you know what kind of powder?
No.
See, you guys are lucky because magicians normally don't like to tell people how they did their secrets, right? But since I'm not a magician, since I'm a scientist, I'll tell you how I did it. Would you like to know?
Yeah.
And he is absolutely correct. Before you guys all got here today, when I was getting ready, in the bottom of one of those cups, I poured this special scientific powder. Now, it's got a really long name that's hard to say. It's called sodium polyacrylate. But we just call it slush powder. Because slush powder is easy to say. And slush powder is like a really strong sponge. This powder is way stronger than...
I have heard of that name.
Okay, good. So this is a really, really, really strong powder. It soaks up a lot of water. So I had it in the bottom of the cup, and then I poured the water in there, and it soaked up the water, and the water got bigger and bigger and bigger, and then it stuck to the inside of the cup. So you thought it disappeared, but it's actually still in there. Would you like to see what I did to it? Yeah. So I basically just changed it into a different substance. So now it looks like that. Yes, it's kind of like slime. Ew. It's like, ooh, it's like slime, right? And that's why it stuck to the inside of the cup. So I didn't really make it disappear, did I? I just did a cool science experiment and I made it stick into there, right? So I used science to do the magic trick. Pretty cool, right? Nope, it was science, exactly. Because I'm not really a magician. I do science. So, now, I told you guys what we were going to be learning about today, right? Do you remember? We're going to be learning about... Remember, no shouting out, please, right? We have to raise our hands. We're going to... Well, first of all, do you guys know what your 5 senses are? We all have 5 senses that are what we use to learn about everything in the... Guys, shh. No, thank you. Shh. We have to raise our hands. And I'll point to you if you have an answer, okay? So I'll tell you what. If I point to you, I want you to name just one. Just one of your senses. Can you name one?
Smell.
Smelling is one. Can you name one?
Touching.
Touching is one. Seeing. Tasting. And then one more. which is the one we're going to be talking about today.
Hearing.
Hearing. We're going to be talking about how we hear things and how sounds are made. So the most important thing to know about sounds is all sounds come from something vibrating. Does anybody know what vibrating means? Vibrations, do you know?
It means it's moving.
It means moving. So all sounds come from something moving. Even the air. When you hear my voice and my voice comes out of my mouth and travels to your ears, the air in between me and you is vibrating, and then those vibrations go into your ears, and that's how you hear it. Now also, inside your ears, you have these teeny tiny little bones called your eardrums. You ever hear of your eardrums?
Yeah.
And when the sound goes into our eardrums vibrate, and that tells our brain what we're hearing. So we know the difference between a person talking and a dog barking and a car horn honking, right? Because our eardrums tell our brain what it is. So all sounds come from vibrations. That's the most important thing to know. And sound can travel through air, it can travel through water, it can travel through sour things like the table, because if I knock on it, you can hear that, right? So the vibrations are going through the table. And sound travels through the air in a very specific way. Yes, ma'am?
It's just when you speak and you wait, you just can't see it. So it just comes, it just like flies like a bird.
Well, sort of does. We'll talk about that actually. So we'll talk about two things about your voice. The first thing is how sound goes through the air. So I need somebody to help me demonstrate something. Would you like to help me for a second? We're going to use this little toy. You guys know what this is?
Yeah.
We're going to use this to show you how sound goes through the air when you hear things. So, can you stand over here a little bit, please? What's your name? All right. And can you hold this with two hands? Two hands. So, let's say you're hearing a sound. We'll just say it's me talking, but it could be any sound. And the sound comes out of my mouth, and it's traveling to her ears. Now, it doesn't go in a straight line, like an arrow. It doesn't just go, pew! Sound actually travels through the air. It goes up and down like this. It's called a sound wave. Everybody say sound wave.
Sound wave.
Like waves in the ocean. That's how sound goes through the air. You can't see it. It's invisible. But that's how it goes through the air. That's how it vibrates the air. Now, different sound waves make different sounds. So let's say there was a really, really high sound, like a bird chirping or a cricket. Something that's really high, like this. That's a tiny little sound wave. So that might just look like, no, hold it. That just might look like this, a little one. That would be a very high sound. And then if there was a very low sound, that would be a super long sound wave, like that. So different sound waves make different vibrations, and that's how we hear different sounds. High and low, all sounds like that. Thank you very much. You may sit down. Give her a big round of applause. And then you talked about our voice, right? Well, guess what? Our voice comes from something vibrating. Inside our throats, in here, we have something called, well, all the way in there, you have something called your vocal cords. And your vocal cords, when you talk, they vibrate, and that's how our voices come out. Now, you can actually feel the vibrations. Can everybody put your fingers on the sides of your neck like this? And then say, let's see, try to think of something good we can say. Say, I love mad science.
I love mad science.
Do you feel your throat moving when you do that? So you're feeling your vocal cords moving. Now, if we change how our vocal cords move, we can change the sound. So keep your fingers there. And now say, I love mad science. I love mad science. And now say, I love mad science.
I love mad science.
So different vibrations make the different sounds. That's the most important thing to know, right? Now, I have an interesting toy right here that makes a sound. Would you like to see what this thing is? This is very interesting. Kind of like a straw. It's like a musical instrument. This one works better.
I have one of those. Then both at time.
It's cool. Both at one time? Mm-hmm. Sounds like an alien spaceship, doesn't it? Right? But here's how it works. Remember I said that sounds come from vibrations and air vibrates when the sound travels through the air? Well, as I spin this, air blows through it. Air goes in one end and comes out the other end. And as the air goes through, the air hits every single one of these bumps. And those bumps make the air vibrate. And that's what's making the sound, is the air vibrating. That's how a lot of instruments work. When you blow into a lot of instruments, that's how it works. And exactly. And if I spin it at different speeds, it makes different vibrations, and that makes different sounds. So if I spin it slow, sounds like this. And then if I spin it faster, it sounds like this. And then faster. I think that's the fastest I can do it. Right? Isn't that cool? So different vibrations make different sounds. Would anybody like to give this a try?
Yeah.
Let's see here. How about, this young man, would you like to try? Now we gotta find a place you can do this where you're not gonna bonk anybody in the head. Let's go all the way over here. I don't want you to smack anybody. You stand here, and you hold that, and let's see if you can spin it and make the noise. Easy, right? Awesome. Who else wants to give it a try? How about, would you like to try? Come on up here. Stand all the way over here. Don't smack me in the face. No! Go ahead and spin it. Awesome. Isn't that cool? I like that. That's a fun toy. Thank you. Who else would like to give it a try? I wish I could let every single person. I'm sorry if I don't get every person. We don't have enough time for that. Would you like to try? Come on up here. Come stand over here. All right. You're in the danger zone right there, aren't you? Cool. Thank you. How about maybe one more person? Would you like to give it a try? Come on over here, sir. Stand over here, young man. Okay. There you go. Give it a good spin around and around in a circle. Gotta spin it around and around in a circle. Can you do it over your head like this? Spin it around? There you go. I hear something. It's starting to go. Just gotta spin it around like this, around and around. Yeah, you're smacking yourself away. Here, let's do it together. Ready? Here we go. Awesome. Good job. Big round of applause. Cool. Very interesting. By the way, what animal would I be if I put it on my nose like this? An elephant. What animal would I be if I went like this?
Bunny.
A bunny? I thought maybe like an alien from another planet.
Or ant.
Or an ant. A bug.
Or insect.
What animal would I be if I just like put it on my head like this? I guess a unicorn or a rhinoceros, right? That's pretty awesome. Now, yes, sir. How about a narwhal?
If you put it on your nose, you could also be an aardvark.
An aardvark, an anteater, right? That's an excellent one. So this toy used air, right? Now I have another fun experiment we're gonna try that involves air. This is very interesting. So I'm gonna need another helper. Let's see, would you like to help? Come up here, young lady. Now, first of all, you need to get something for me. In that green trash can over there, there is a brown, fluffy, soft thing. Can you grab that for me? What is it? Teddy bear! Bring Mr. Teddy Bear over here. It's sort of brown, it's tan. We're gonna put Mr. Teddy Bear into this bag. Stuff him in there. There we go. And then we're going to close the bag up. And we're gonna make sure no air can get in the top. And this is the hard part because the zipper broke off. So now I have to do this by hand, which takes forever and ever to close this thing up. Then what we're going to do is we're going to take all the air out of this bag, and we're going to see what happens to Mr. Teddy Bear as all the air comes out of the bag. We're getting there. We got to make sure the whole thing is locked up because we don't want any air to come out of the top.
Actually, it's really kind of difficult when the zipper breaks off.
It is. It's hard to close the whole thing. It just takes a long time. I think I got it though. I think I got most of it. So here's what we're gonna do to take the air out. can you hold the bag for me? I have this little thing that's kind of like a little vacuum cleaner. And it takes the air out of things. It's a little bit loud. Would you like to hear it? Yeah. It's not too loud. It's not that bad. It's not bad, right? So what I'm going to do is take one of these crazy tubes, and can you come a little bit closer here? And I'm going to put that there, and put this on top of here, and we're going to take all the air out, and we're going to see what happens to the bag. The bag should start to get smaller and smaller. We're getting there. We're shrinking the bag.
I think it's going to pop out of the bottom.
Oh, really? We're getting there. We're getting there. It's just taking a long time. Oh, no. Something is definitely happening to Mr. Teddy Bear. Yeah. Oh, man. Oh. Look what oh, man. All right, let me turn this off. Look what I did to poor Mr. Teddy Bear. What happened to him? What did I do to him? Yeah. Did he get all squished? Right? So as I took the air out of the bag and the bag got smaller and smaller, Mr. Teddy Bear really started to get squished. Oh, don't go anywhere. You're not done yet. We got to do something else. So that's the first example. I took all the air out and Mr. Teddy Bear got squished up, right? Now if I open the bag, Mr. Teddy Bear should be okay once the air comes back in. And then let's see. Ah, he's perfectly fine, right? But now we're going to do it again with something different. Can you please go back into the trash can? And can you get the round thing that's in there? The round circle thing that's many colors, rainbow colors. Yes! The ball! Bring the ball over here. Can you please put Mr. Ball in the bag?
He's gonna shrink.
And I'm going to do the same thing.
He's gonna pop.
See, now we have a couple different guesses. You think it's gonna shrink. You think it's gonna pop. Does anybody think the ball is gonna get squished flat just like the teddy bear did? Does anybody think the ball will pop?
Yeah, I said
Yeah?
that already.
Does anybody think something else will happen that we haven't guessed yet? Any other choices? What do you think? It may stay the same. These are three different guesses. What do you think?
It's not a guess, but all the different guesses fall not
Hypothesis. That's right. We're hearing a bunch of different hypotheses. So we're going to test to see which one is correct. So we're going to do the same thing, take the air out, and we're going to see who has the right theory. So we're going to see what happens to the ball. All right, hold it again. And here we go again. We'll put this on here, and we'll put this on here. And we will shrink the bag. All right, it's getting there. It's going slow today for some reason. Now it's shrinking. There we go. Now the bag is getting smaller. Oh boy. Okay, so I took all the air out of the bag. Did anything happen to the ball? No, you had the right answer. Nothing happened to it, right? Can anybody tell me why the ball didn't shrink like the teddy bear? Why didn't the ball shrink?
Because the air of it holds the. I know the answer, but it's probably outside. So the ball is making it from stopping to stop.
I would do the ball and the teddy
I think
bear.
I know what you're saying. What's inside the ball?
Air.
Air, right? So the air is so strong that even though we squished the bag, it wasn't strong enough to squish the ball. The teddy bear didn't have any air inside of it, so we can squish him up as much as we want, right? So that's a very interesting air experiment. The ball stayed the same shape because the air was strong enough to keep it the way it was, right?
Oh, the ball got a little bit.
I don't think it changed at all. I think the ball stayed exactly the same size. Pretty cool, right? All right, let's put this over here. Get in there, Mr. Ball. Now, this one is really cool. You guys are going to like this one. It's one of my favorites. Get this out of the way. Do you guys know what this thing is right here?
A radio?
It's a radio. So I have a CD in there, and I have a song I want to play for you guys. So I'm going to play a song. I'm going to push play. Okay. And now it's playing. Isn't that a good song?
There's nothing there.
What? You don't hear anything? Oh, you know what? There's a problem. There's something missing from this radio that you need on every radio.
The CD.
No, the CD's in there. There's close, not an antenna. Something that has to be attached to the radio where the sound comes out of. Does anybody know what that's called? The speaker. There's no speaker. I just have a wire that's not attached to anything. And I'm going to show you something really neat. I'm going to show you how I'm going to make my own homemade speaker so that we can hear the music. So all I need is this wire, and I need a really strong magnet. When you put a magnet into a bunch of wires, it creates, we call it an electromagnet. But what's happening is the magnet is going to make these wires vibrate. Remember we said all sounds come from vibrations, right? So this will make the wires vibrate, and then... Oh yeah, now you can hear it, right?
No.
Yeah, it's super loud. What do you mean? I can hear it just fine. Why can't you hear it?
Because you're putting it in your ear.
Oh, you're right. So there's still a problem because I can hear it. It's in my ear, but we need a way for you guys to hear it. So now we need...
Turn the volume up.
Yes, the volume is all the way up. What we need is something called an amplifier. We need something that makes the vibrations louder so you guys can hear it. And that will be this little bucket right here. If I put the wire and the magnet on the back of the bucket will make those vibrations louder as it comes out of here. And now we should be able to hear the music. Let's push play again. And let's see if we can hear some music.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not really loud.
It's not very loud. I mean, you can hear it, right?
It's not really loud.
That's as loud as it gets. But it's kind of amazing. All I did was I just stuck the magnet and the wires on the back. And now you guys can hear it.
I think you'll get it out of another bucket.
Maybe if I had a bigger bucket, maybe. I don't know. We could try that. I could try. You want to see if I use the trash can? Maybe it'll be louder? Alright. You never know. It's louder. Maybe it'll make the vibrations louder. Although it's big, it's hard for me to pick it up. Let's see if I can put this on the back. Let's see if it makes it louder.
No.
I don't know if it made it any louder. Can you hear it?
I know.
Why?
Because it's big or it's so big it can't.
I don't know. I would think maybe if it was bigger, it would make the vibrations louder. I can still hear it.
Maybe even bigger.
That's the biggest I have.
Oh.
But that's pretty neat, isn't it? I made my own speaker out of a trash can just by using the magnet, right? Yes, sir.
And the bucket.
And the
The
bucket.
reason why
Maybe we could
it's
try
not,
bucket and magnet.
the reason why it's not as loud as the orange bucket is because
It's
I think this is right. It's because like it's so big, the sound gets like quieter as like it's so big.
I don't know. You would think that it would be bigger, so it would magnify the sound. You would think.
But
It's hard.
Here,
it's like
listen to this. Put it next to your ear. I can't reach that far.
Can I put it next to my
See, can you hear it? Isn't that weird?
Can I?
Alright, so let me turn that off. We're going to do a fun game that we're all going to do together. The entire group. This is a fun group activity. We're going to make a sound. We're going to make our own thunderstorm. We're all going to do it together. Because thunderstorms make a lot of noise. And this is a great way to practice making sound. So here's what we're going to do. First, we're going to start. We're all going to be the rain. And first, it starts raining very softly. It's just drizzling. It's very quiet. So I want everybody just to go like this.
You can sit there.
That's pretty quiet, right? That's just a quiet rain. And then it starts to drizzle a little bit louder. So, do you guys know how to snap? Can you snap? That's a little bit louder. And then it starts to rain a little bit louder. So we got to go like this. Now we're getting louder. And then it starts to rain even louder. So start to clap like this. And then, when it really starts to pour, when the thunderstorm is really strong, I want you to clap, and at the same time as you're clapping, I want you to stomp your feet on the ground. So clap and stomp. Clap and stomp. Awesome. All right, everybody. Stop. Now, when we get to that part, the part where everybody's clapping and stomping, that's when the thunder and the lightning comes in. So this is the lightning. That's going to be the lightning. And then I have these cool toys that make thunder. Now these basically work the same way that the bucket works with the music. If I can get this thing to vibrate, this will amplify the sound. That means it'll make the sound get bigger as it comes out of there. You want to hear it? It sounds like thunder.
Yeah.
Isn't that cool? Sounds like thunder, right? Just from this vibrating, the sound comes out of here and it sounds like thunder, right? So I need a couple people who are going to help me be the thunder. Somebody who hasn't done something yet. I want to try to give some other people a turn. Let's see. You haven't done anything yet, right? Come on up here. And how about you stand right here? Hold on to this for me. And let's see. Ooh, would you like to be some thunder? Okay, come on over.
I didn't do anything.
All right. And would you like to stand over here? Hold on to this. And face this way. And then let's see. How about this young lady in the pink shirt? Come on up here. Squeeze up. Don't step on anybody's fingers. There you go. And we have one more here. Now, I wish I could pick everybody. How about all the way in the back, that young lady right there with the dress on? Come on up here. And you know what? We gotta be nice and quiet. Here we go. Look at this, guys. I have one more, but look at the size of this one. Is this bigger or smaller?
Bigger.
So does that mean, do you think the thunder will be louder or quieter?
Louder.
You want to hear what this one sounds like? It's bigger. Let's hear what this one sounds like. Cool, huh? So I need somebody to do the big giant one.
I'll do it.
Would you like to do the big giant one? Come on over here. So, I will let you guys know when it's time to shake it. When they get to the part where they're clapping and stomping, then I'll point to you guys, and you're going to have to do the thunder, right? But not yet. You just hold those. I'll tell you when, okay? So, ready? We're going to start the rain. So, everybody start going like this. It's starting to rain. It's nice and quiet. And then it's starting to rain heavier. Everybody snap. And then it's raining heavier. It starts to go like this. And then it's starting to rain heavier. Go like this. Now keep clapping and start stomping. And everybody shout me the thunder! Wow! Holy moly! That's thunder! Alright, everybody, stop! Hey, how about let me hear just the thunder? Let me hear just you guys. Let's hear it. That's cool. Awesome. Give them a big round of applause! Thank you guys, good job! I will take those back, thank you very much. Good job, guys. I like to do two at the same time. Stop, go, stop. See, it's just vibrating, right? Isn't that cool? Comes out the top. Alright, now, this little toy is very funny also. What is this? A little cup. But I do something fun with these cups. Now, they kind of work the same way as these. They have a little string, and if the string vibrates, it makes a sound. But here's the problem. That string doesn't really vibrate like these, right? See, sometimes what happens is you need to put some water on it. Just like if you're really, really, really thirsty, if you have a super dry throat, and you try to talk, sometimes you try to talk and you can't, your throat is so dry, right? But if you take a drink of water, then you can talk just fine, your vocal cords. So if I put some water on this, maybe I can make it vibrate and maybe we can hear something. So let me put some water on it. And let's hear if it makes a noise. Let's hear. Kind of. Am I getting you wet? I don't like that one. Let's see. I'm going to find one that really makes a funny sound. I got to find one that works really good. Let's see. What does that sound like? I call that the laughing duck. Sounds like a duck laughing, right? It's like, right? So I'm making the string vibrate, and the sound is coming out of the cup, and it's making the duck laugh. Anybody want to try making the duck laugh? Let's see. Would you like to try, young man? Would you like to try? Come up here. Let's see if you can go like this.
Did you do anything yet?
Well, here you go. So you're just going to put your fingers on the string, and you're going to pull it like that and see if you can make the duck laugh. Go ahead. Let's see. You got to hold it real tight.
No hair.
It's hard to do. It's hard to do. It's not easy.
Can I
So we
try?
can see you.
Can I give it a
All right, put your fingers on there real tight. Real tight. Squeeze the string. And then... Oh, you did it. Let's do it again. Squeeze the string. Squeeze the string. Squeeze it. There you go. Awesome. Give me 5, dude.
Can I try?
Who else wants to give it a try? Someone who hasn't done something yet. Would you like to try? Come up here, sir. See if you can do that. Let's see. Face the audience so they can see you. Let's see. Do it again. Pretty easy, right?
Yeah.
The laughing duck. Let's see. Somebody else want to give it a try? Would you like to try? I like that noise. Give it a try. There we go. Do it again. Awesome. Now, okay, here's a question. What if I wanted a louder sound? I want to hear a louder sound. So what do you think I would need to do?
Water.
Not more water.
Attach it on a cup.
Maybe. That's a good guess. What do you think?
Maybe electric it.
What do you think?
Plastic cup.
Something bigger. Because remember when we played with these? Remember the bigger one made a louder sound? So I need something bigger. Do you guys see anything up here that's bigger than that
A
cup?
garbage can.
Oh yeah, the garbage can. What about if we use the bucket first?
Yeah.
Let's try the bucket. So instead of a laughing duck, maybe we can make a laughing tiger. The bucket's bigger, so maybe we can make the sound louder. So let's try that. Let's put the string in the water. And then this should be louder because the bucket's bigger. So instead of a laughing duck, maybe we can hear a laughing tiger. So let's hear it. Okay, let's see if this works. That's louder, isn't it? That's like a tiger roaring. Right? Oh. You think if I do it with the trash can, it will be louder? So that's the tiger. Right? But now, how about I do, instead of the tiger, how about we do a dinosaur? We're going to make a dinosaur roar. Where's the string?
It's right there.
There it is. We need the string. Okay, so we got to, oh, that's so heavy. We got to put the string in the water. This trash can is huge. Are you guys ready to hear a dinosaur roar? Oh boy. Wait till you guys hear this. You ready for the dinosaur to roar? Down the way. Okay, let's hear what that one sounds like. That's a loud roar, isn't it? That's a dinosaur. I'll tell you what. How about when I make the dinosaur? How about a short little one? That's pretty cool, isn't it? So that made the biggest amount of vibrations, and that was the loudest roar. I don't have anything bigger than that. That's the biggest one. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
What if we do it in the same time with the dragon and the tiger?
That would be hard to do. There's no more room on the table. That's really hard. I like that idea, though. Very cool. Oh, so big and heavy. Now, believe it or not.
Maybe we should try that cup of water.
What cup of water? This?
Yeah.
That doesn't have a string attached to it, though.
You can attach one.
No, it doesn't work that way, silly.
It will make a splash.
It would, right? The water would leak out. Now, believe it or not, this is probably going to make you a little sad. That was the end of the show. Oh, it was. Did you guys enjoy it?
Yeah.
Can you guys give yourselves a big round of applause? Thank you so much for coming out, everybody. I hope you had a good time. I hope to see you at more Mad Science shows and activities. You guys have a good rest of the summer, all right? Thanks, everybody.
Thank
See you later.
I think for sure. You never know where the day's going to lead you. So we went from one science event. We found out about another free science event. So we're here. My baby girl is asleep. I just had my dinner. And, yeah. You're so cute. I'll record this and show it to her later. I need to get the straps for her. I'll fix it as soon as I get home. I'm gonna get the cushions. That's what I mean by the strap holder, like for her neck. My poor baby. She's such a good girl. But yeah, always be prepared with food, water, changes of clothes for your kids. You know. We're at a new library. I've never been to this one before either. And it should be a lot of fun. It starts at 7, so I'm just waiting.
I might even need to add more seats. My name is Debbie Slavutsky, and I'm the outreach coordinator here at the library. And I don't know if you can tell because I can see a lot of familiar faces. I love arts and music nights, and I love bringing interesting things like this. I've always, I was an architecture major, and after architecture, I'm always interested. And Wharton Esherick Museum and Studio is a place I haven't been to yet, and so I thought, why don't they just come to the library? And it's also a teaser for all of you who haven't been to come and visit. So without further ado, it's Laura from Wharton Esherick Museum.
Thank you. Well, thank you all for coming out tonight. I really appreciate it. I was telling Debbie the last time I did one of these, I had 8 people show up. So this is glorious. So, like Debbie said, my name is Laura. I am the curator and program director at the Wharton Esherick Museum. And one of the things that happens a lot when visitors come to our museum is they apologize to me because they've been meaning to come for years. Or they have heard of Wharton Esherick and they've never made it there, but that is the day they have come. And I always reassure them that I grew up 20 minutes down the road from the museum, and I did not know it existed until about 7 years ago. So there's really no shame in having visited there or not even knowing it existed. By show of hands, who has actually heard of Wharton Esherick before tonight? Hey, that's great. And how many of you have actually visited his studio? All right, yay. Well, I'm going to challenge the rest of you to visit before the year is over. You can come next year too, but I want to give you the ultimatum. You should get there and do it soon. So I'm going to talk a little bit about Esherick, his background and his history, and we'll talk a lot about what he's best known for, and that is his functional art. So we will jump right in. Wharton was born July 15th, 1887, so we are about to hit his 130th birthday, which I'll tell you a little bit more about at the end. And he was born in Philadelphia to a relatively well-known family. He was one of 7 children. This is actually the Eshericks with their mom. Here's Mama Esherick, and this is Wharton up there. He actually had a twin sister, which is kind of fun. His twin sister Dottie is just to his right or left, his left. And they were a traditional Victorian family, as you can see by the garb here. Fun fact, if you look in the background of this photograph, you can see tents. They're on a camping trip. And they are dressed to the nines. I'm headed to Maine next weekend for vacation, and I do not plan on dressing like this. But Wharton, this is important to see where he comes from, because this is not where he goes. He convinces his parents, I have a couple more cute little Wharton pictures. Here's Wharton again with some of his siblings, and they all had bicycles, so they definitely had money in the family. And the photograph on the far left there is actually Wharton just after he graduated from high school. He actually worked his way across the Atlantic Ocean on a cattle boat called the East Point, so he and a friend could go explore Europe for 4 weeks before going on to higher education. Bye. So I love that.
You might want to move the fan.
Yeah, it's fine. I don't need them. So Wharton convinces his parents to send him to a trade school. This was really unheard of in their family, but he enrolled in the Central Manual Arts Training School in Philadelphia, which was established in 1885, and Wharton graduated in 1906. While he was there, he was the pitcher and then manager on the baseball team, and he also made various, thank you, illustrations for the yearbook. And I've got one of those illustrations up here for the track team. He did dozens of these for the various sports teams and activities. So we've got the M there for the manual training school. And I love his initials here, how he's combined all three of them. So his full name is Wharton Esherick, and he uses Harris for the first half of his life, eventually dropping that middle name and just going by Wharton Esherick later on. So he graduates, like I said, in 1906, and he then goes on to the Philadelphia Museum School of Industrial Art. Today, that is two organizations, the Philadelphia Museum and the University of the Arts. And there he is studying painting, the industrial arts. He's studying lithography, silk screening, and particularly illustration. And as we saw with his high school illustrations here, he really liked drawing. And he wrote under his senior portrait, I guess, your senior quote. His quote was, "I think I am an artist." And I love that because he is about to enter the real world, and he's pretty sure he's an artist. Later on in his life, at the end of his career, he actually he gets into a little bit of a letter writing war with the IRS. They wanted to tax him as a production studio, and he said, "I'm not a production studio. I am known as an artist." So he runs the full gamut there. So after, or actually while he was at the museum school, he recalls his time there, and I wanted to read this to you because I love this quote. He says, "At the time I was there, I wanted to be a painter. I had no inclination or desire to do sculpture, although there was a sculpture department at the school. I painted and I drew with all the energy I had. In fact, in both classes, I not only went to the daytime, but also to the night classes, but found that was too much to handle, mainly because I was a kid and I wanted to do outside social things too. But my interest, I find, on reflecting, was always to express myself with a picture or a line. I was the stupidest fool trying to do it with words, and I think that still holds." And it was always important to Wharton that you knew who he was through his artwork. He fought people for a long time who eventually wanted to write biographies about him. He did not want to be written about. He wanted people to see his work and experience it. So after he finishes the program at what is now the University of the Arts, he goes on to the Pennsylvania Academy of the Fine Arts. This was the place to be. He actually was able to secure a city scholarship to attend PAFA. And while he is there, he's studying under some pretty big names. He studied drawing under Thomas Anschutz, who is the middle portrait there. And then he studied painting under Celia Beau and William Merritt Chase. And Wharton liked to recall that William Merritt Chase was particularly fond of his paintings. Chase was living up in New York at the time, and he would take the train down to commute to teach at PAFA. And Wharton told the story that Chase used to get right off of the train, come directly into their class, and go straight to Wharton's easel because he wanted to see what Wharton was working on. And I find that hard to believe. I feel like that's a little bit of an artist ego coming in there, but maybe not. So we have Celia Beau here and Chase down there. Now, 6 weeks before he was supposed to graduate from PAFA, he drops out of school. We never ever condone dropping out of school. Stay in school. But he did this because while he had been in this very formal setting for the past 4 years, all he was doing was learning to mimic what other people were doing. He wasn't learning by experimenting and figuring out who he was as an individual. So he called it quits and set out into the real world. He ends up getting jobs as an illustrator at a couple of Philadelphia newspapers including the North American, the Evening Bulletin, and the Public Ledger. He was there until he got a job at the Victor Talking Machine Company in Camden. This was his money ticket. He was working as an illustrator there. His job was to create promotional items, large posters, album covers, different pieces like that. And he was making $15 a week, which was pretty good. That allowed him to marry this woman here. Her name is Letitia, or Letty Nofer, whom he was introduced to through his younger brother, Frank. Letty had dark eyes and long auburn hair, and she was just as free-spirited as Wharton's. Her father owned a butcher shop at the Reading Terminal Market, and what I love about Letty is she had a fascination with motors. Her father was one of the first on their street to own a car. They had a motorboat down at their home on the Jersey Shore, and she liked to tinker with motors, wearing clothing like this. And she apparently developed a reputation that she could coax reluctant motors to actually start. And there would be men who would call Letty Nofer down to see if she could get their engines to start. And she did. So Wharton and Letty were married in 1912 by Judge Willis Martin of the Court of Common Pleas. And Judge Martin was actually a good friend of both families. So as a wedding gift, he allowed the newlyweds to take his 38-foot motor sailor, the Wharton 3, for a honeymoon cruise to New York City. And this is our 2 pages from a scrapbook that Wharton made to commemorate the trip. If you take a look at the title, which he called it The Log of the Cruise of the Wharton 3, or in better words, that honeymoon. This is because they hit rough sailing and they hit bad storms, so it was a little bit of a nightmare to set out on your honeymoon, not the romantic vacation they thought it was going to be. But Wharton, you can tell he was quite a good illustrator. All that training did pay off. I really desperately wished he actually went on to illustrate books with drawings. I think they would have been fantastic. But his life took a different route. But if you look in the top corner there, you can see a tiny photograph as well. So he's scrapbooking as he goes along as well. We actually have a blog through the museum. Bless you. And if you want to read more about this honeymoon cruise, I invite you to check that out through our website. It's pretty fun. So when they return from that honeymoon, they find that Wharton's job at the Victor Talking Machine Company no longer existed. He'd been replaced by the half-tone printing process, literally while he was honeymooning. So they decided actually it was the perfect time for them to leave Philadelphia and move out to the rural countryside. Both of them were very interested in this back-to-the-earth movement that was happening at the time. They wanted to live off of the land and lead an organic lifestyle. Ideally, they wanted a home with a water view. Wharton's favorite book was Walden by Henry David Thoreau. So he really wanted to be able to kind of live out what Thoreau did in Walden. Unfortunately, they couldn't find a place with a water view, but a real estate agent in Berwyn showed them this property. And Wharton fell in love with that cherry tree that's on the left there. The legend is that this cherry tree was so large that 2 grown men could not touch arms if they both tried to hug it at the same time. It was really, really huge. And Wharton actually decided to purchase the house before he'd actually gone inside. But he told the real estate agent he had to have that tree. So he did. Wharton and Letty move in 1913. And they call their new farm Sunnycrest. They spelled it phonetically, Sunnekrest. Wharton says they thought they were really clever spelling it that way. It is a typical Pennsylvania fieldstone house. It was built in 1839. As a plus, it actually had indoor plumbing when they bought it because the main water line ran through their property to the near town of Paoli. So that was a big bonus. And he was able to purchase the house for $3,300. This property is now part of the museum once again. It went through some private ownership for a while, and I can tell you it did not cost anywhere near $3,300 when we went to buy it again. But it was the perfect setting for the Eshericks. Wharton loved to watch the local farmers and the tradesmen as they went about their business. He was fascinated with how farmers in particular would solve problems, always finding the most direct, to the point way to solve the problem. Very pragmatic, and we see that approach reflected in Wharton's later work when we get into his furniture. Wharton and Letty enjoyed the simple farm life, and they spent a lot of time with the local farming community, but they also found themselves socializing with a lot of wealthy Philadelphians who had large summer homes in the area. A family lived just down the road by the name of Clothier, as in Strawbridge and Clothier, and they got to know the Clothiers very well. Often they would go around in their touring car that was driven by a chauffeur. So Wharton was kind of bouncing between the different social statuses in the area at the time. We have a lovely illustration, a pen and ink drawing of Sunnycrest, the view up the driveway, and the view of what is called the Great Valley in its backyard. And then this is an early oil painting of Sunnycrest as well. And it's important to remember as we go along, we talked about Wharton's schooling. He was only trained as a painter and an illustrator, but that is not what he's going to leave his legacy in. Here's a couple pictures of Wharton and Letty down at the farm. They have this lovely Japanese-style grape arbor. You can tell in this photograph, Letty's pregnant with their first daughter, Mary. And then there's the newlyweds down at their new home as well. Really sweet. So Wharton used bedrooms in that farmhouse as his painting studio until all the kids came along. He kept getting ousted from room to room until there were no more rooms. They did eventually have 3 children. This is the Diamond Rock Schoolhouse. It is a one-room schoolhouse built in 1818 by Mennonites in the area. And it was used until 1864 when 2 public schools were opened in the area. Wharton helped restore it because it was completely falling apart, and he got to use it as a painting studio for a while. So he used it for about 4 years. He painted his self-portrait down there, which I don't think is on your brochure. I think I brought the rack card, not the brochure. You'll have to come see it. We have it in the museum. And while he was painting out of this building, he actually was converting a small barn on their property to become his painting studio. Now, in 1919, while he is down there, what's my next slide? Yes. He actually takes his family to a single tax community in Fairhope, Alabama. And it is down here that actually Letty is studying under Marietta Johnson, who founded the School for Organic Education. Letty really wanted to become a teacher. And Wharton was meeting all kinds of incredible people down there. A lot of literary folks went down to this community, other artists as well. And it is here that he meets the author Sherwood Anderson, who wrote Winesburg, Ohio. They would become great friends. But he also meets a woman named Mary Marcy. Mary was an author, and she was working on a collection of poetry about evolution for children in 1919. This is way before the Scopes Monkey trial takes place, so still a hot topic at the time. And she asked Wharton to illustrate it with woodcut prints. And at this time, Wharton was struggling to figure out what kind of artist he was going to be. His paintings weren't really selling. He was not a successful painter. So he had started tinkering with carving wood blocks, and Mary really liked what he was doing. So he illustrated this book for her, actually did 100 woodcuts for her poems. 78 were actually used in the final production. The middle block there is one of his early blocks from Rhymes of Early Jungle Folk. He would go on to discover he really liked carving wood blocks, and he was really good at it. He started showing his prints in galleries in New York City and Philadelphia. He sold them for about $10 or $12. This print was one of his most popular. This is called January. We think he was working on a calendar. We've got 350 prints in our collection, different prints, and we've got a bunch named after different months of the year. So I think he was working on a calendar. And then the far one is taken from a play by Amory Hare called Tristram and Isolde, which he illustrated with his woodblocks as well. And he did start seeing success from his woodblock prints. Like I said, he did about 350. This is one of my favorites called April Plowing. And he was able to capture a lot of motion and things that were moving. And that becomes a theme throughout his work. He really likes to do that. And you will see that carry on into his furniture. So he's seeing success as an artist. He has outgrown his tiny little woodshed studio down at the farm and decides it's time for his standalone studio. So in 1926, he starts construction on this building. He builds it right up behind the farm at the top of the hill, so he had a fantastic view. And this is what it looked like in 1926. It was a one-room workshop, and he had some interesting influences on his design, including Rudolf Steiner, who was an Austrian philosopher, believed that architecture should come down to a more human level. There should be curves and kind of a softer environment when it came to architecture. He loved the German bank barns that were in the area, how you could enter on every level, and you can do that with this building. Today, you can see in this photograph on the right, there's a door. You used to have to walk down and come in here, but you could come in from over here, and now you can come in from the front as well. So very functional. He was also a fan of Frank Lloyd Wright, which I think makes sense, right? He liked Wright's ideas about architecture not interrupting the landscape, but instead appearing to grow right out of it. So Wharton builds this studio right into the side of the hill to accommodate Wright's principles. The studio changes function over time, so we have now moved on to 1947, when he actually turns the studio into his home as well. His wife and two daughters have headed off to the Hedgerow Theater, which is down in Media in Delaware County. And Wharton and his son Peter move into the studio because while he was starting to see success as an artist, he never really had a lot of money. And if they could rent out the farmhouse, that was a good income. So this becomes his home and studio. He adds a bathroom in 1947. He used an outhouse for 21 years before then. And eventually in 1966, he adds a final addition on the far right there that he called the silo, because this was a barn, right? So it needed its silo. And this is how the museum looks today. It's beautiful every season of the year. This is a lovely spring May photograph. We've got, a garden in front of antique peonies that Letty used to grow down at the farmhouse. So this line of peonies has been growing for actually more than 100 years, the same line. They're beautiful. So come in May next year. Lovely, lovely, lovely. So now we're going to get into what Esherick left his legacy in, his sculptural and very functional furniture. He starts working with a local cabinet maker whose name was John Schmidt, and John teaches Wharton how to build furniture. At this point, he's transitioning out of carving wood blocks and working on a much larger scale. And this desk was actually one of the first pieces that he does in 1927. Its purpose was to house the different supplies needed for printmaking. It actually had storage to keep the prints nice and flat. These bottom cabinet doors open up, and you can pull out flat file drawers, which is where you keep the prints. The top or the middle section there is a drop leaf. You pull that open, and it becomes your desktop. And then the top cubbies were just storage spaces. But Wharton thought early on in his furniture career that he had to carve into the wood like he'd been carving into the wood blocks to tell you the story of what his piece was conveying to you. This piece is the story of the landscape around the studio. So down here we have tree trunks. These are winter branches, and it might be hard to see, but up top we have turkey buzzards that were constantly flying over the hillside where his studio is. And then the piece on the right is a trifold screen, also done at the same time. It's illustrating the harvest. So you can see the harvested fields and the birds flying up above. When you see carved Esherick pieces, good chance it's from the late 20s and into the 1930s, because that's when he's doing this relief carving. This screen is in the Fine Art Museum up in Boston. This is actually the highest, what am I trying to say here? This piece has sold for the highest price at auction to add it to their collection. It's gorgeous. So he transitions out of carving into wood to things like this, realizing that furniture could be standalone sculpture, that art could be completely functional all at once. This is a desk that he did for a client in the 1930s. She was very interested in the German Expressionist movement, and so was Wharton, so it was a good pair. She actually paid for him to go to Germany to study German Expressionism. His favorite film was The Cabinet of Dr. Caligari. Anybody seen this? Yes. So you'll get some of these. If you haven't seen it, it is on YouTube. You can watch it in its entirety. It's a silent film, and it's a little creepy. But Wharton loved the way that the sets were designed, the way that there are these sharp angles that created different geometric forms. The shadows were very interesting to him as well. So we see that incorporated into his work during this period of his design. This becomes a desk by unfolding these top panels here, and you've got a nice workspace. There's a trash can that's tucked back in, fits just perfectly. The bench on the right there is in the collection of the Art Institute of Chicago. This was a hall bench that was commissioned actually for the same family who commissioned this desk here. Wharton believes in storage capacity. He loves storage space. So beneath the seat of this bench, those are all cabinets that open up to create lots and lots of storage. But during this phase, we see these crazy geometric shapes. He tries to avoid straight or horizontal lines whenever possible. So if you look at the back of that bench, you'll notice the boards get narrower as they go off in one direction. So he loved playing with shape. And again, that's capturing movement because your eye's going to follow those lines. So he started becoming pretty well known at this point. He takes on a lot of commissions, which was really great for Wharton. Unfortunately, he would only charge just enough to get by to the next project, which caused a little tension in the marriage. Letty kind of takes off at this point, goes off and does her own thing. She had a fascinating life as well. I could talk about Letty all night too, but we'll focus on Wharton. And so he starts getting a lot of commissions in the Philadelphia area. This was a home in Gulf Mills. It was the home of Judge Curtis Bach, who was a Supreme Court Justice in Philadelphia. And the Bachs actually commissioned Wharton to do almost their entire home. So this is the fireplace and doorway in their dining room. Really, really fantastic German Expressionist style fireplace. If you were to walk through the doors, you would walk into their music room. Curtis Bach actually married into the Curtis Publishing Company, so a lot of music involved in that family. Wharton did a beautiful staircase for this home, lots of other details, a chimney outside. In 1983, this house was torn down. Very, very tragic. It was the property was purchased by a developer who, of course, said, "I'm not going to tear this house down," and then tore the house down. Thankfully, though, rumors of that started to spread, and the Philadelphia Museum of Art came in literally last minute and were able to purchase the Esherick pieces out of the house before demolition. Yay! So, if you want to do something interesting tomorrow, head into the Philadelphia Museum of Art. You can go see this fireplace in person. They do have it on display. It is gigantic. It is absolutely gorgeous. They have it displayed with the music room doors closed, and it is just such a fantastic piece, so I encourage you to go see that. Esherick is known for his chairs. He loves to experiment with different styles of seating. We've got a few examples here. The chair on the left was a commissioned work for a tack room. It's called the wagon wheel chair, and it gets its name from the fact that that front leg and handle was a wagon wheel that he just cut in half and sculpted a little bit to get it to be the way that he wants it to. To create a more organic feel, he uses leather as the backing as well as the seating of the chair. And we see variations of this chair throughout his history. Really popular design. And then the chairs on the right are his hammer handle chairs. And they get their name because all of the supporting members of this chair are hammer and axe handles. Wharton had gone to an auction and he purchased 2 giant barrels of hammer and axe handles. and didn't know what he was going to do with them. And he figured it out, and he created these chairs. They're fantastic. We have a couple. Wharton was the ultimate recycler, so not only is he using hammer and axe handles, but a lot of the seats that you see, the woven seats, are actually machine belting that was taken out of a factory in Phoenixville, very nearby the studio. And he wove them together, painted it to create the seat. Very, very fun. So, now we're really talking about functional sculpture. These are two of Esherick's music stands. The one on the left is his single music stand, and on the right is a double music stand that was a commissioned work for a husband and wife who both played the flute, so they could perform and practice together. One of the best ways I have heard these music stands described is they appear as if they're dancing to remembered music, which is lovely, because they really do. They're very fluid in their design, they're soft, and they are just functional sculpture. There's really nothing more I could say about that. Wharton had a sense of humor, in case you haven't picked up on that yet. And he was very specific to tell the owners of the double music stand that the shelf there was not meant to hold sheet music. Any guesses as to what it was for?
Their hands? Hold hands?
No? Did you say coffee? You're very close.
A drink.
Yes. It was to hold a drink in case you got nervous during a performance. You had easy access to a nice stiff drink. Wharton really lived off of commissions. He did find time to create standalone sculpture when he wasn't working on pieces for others. So if you look in the background of this picture, this is from the 1950s. This is the inside of the studio. You do see some standalone sculpture in the background, but what he was really selling was his furniture. The sofa here was a commission for the Milliken House, which was down in Media as well. And Wharton likes to do these curved sofas because he feels it facilitates conversation, right? So you're all sitting there, and instead of sitting on a straight sofa where you're facing one direction, the curved ones help you to converse better. He liked to put these type of sofas in the corners of rooms so that you could oversee the 90-degree angle that he did not like. Our eyes actually naturally follow curves, so you would look right past that horrible, horrible 90-degree angle. If you look in the center of this photograph, kind of off towards the back, you see this spiral. This is a staircase that visitors get to walk up when they come to the museum. It was built in 1930 to allow Wharton to get up to his bedroom above the workspace. It actually has left Wharton Studio twice to go on exhibit. And one was to the 1940 World's Fair in New York City. Wharton was invited by the architect George Howe to put together an entire exhibition of his work. And that was supposed to be Wharton's big entrance onto the national scene. But think about the year, 1940. People were a little preoccupied with World War II. So while he did get some good exposure out of it, it wasn't what he had hoped it would be. But that is okay. This is really indicative of the type of work we see come out of Esherick's studio in the 50s and 60s. He's completely moved away from those early German expressionist style pieces, and he's starting to really sculpt the wood and the furniture. If you look at the top of this cabinet, don't you just want to run your hands along the edge of that? You can see it's got different thicknesses. It ebbs and it flows, really inviting to the touch. That is one of the reasons we let visitors touch all of the furniture in our studio, because Wharton's work was meant to be interacted with. He did not want you to just look at it and go, this is a lovely piece. He wanted you to really experience it through touch. This is a radio and record cabinet that he did for a client. He actually did a lot of these. I think he really enjoyed working on them. But you can see it all closed up and then how it opens. This lovely sunrise pattern here is the speaker. Wharton loves sunrise patterns. We see this throughout his work, starting from naming his farm Sunnycrest to the end where he's doing paneling in his dining room walls. It has this beautiful sunrise pattern to it.
Is that the true color?
Yes.
Those colors.
It's probably a little not true because it's a photograph, but it's very close. So where that turntable is, the inside is painted red, which he did a lot. The exterior of his pieces, natural wood finish, but the interior, crazy colors. I mean, he was a painter after all, he really liked color. But he worked a lot in cherry, a lot in walnut, and a lot in oak. The bottom of this, these are all open cabinets for storing albums vertically. Again, with the commissions, they really, really got him through. This is the living room of the Dannenberg home in Mount Airy. So they had a built-in sofa there under the window and a radiator cover with storage next to it. And you can see that little door by the pig. Got storage space here. And if you take a look at the top of the radiator cover, you may be able to see there are rings from planters on top of it. Wharton was okay that this happened because he wanted his pieces used. He knew that the day-to-day life was going to create scratches in the surface of things. Yeah, Mrs. Dannenberg clearly loves plants, so she was going to put planters all over her pieces, and that was going to result in rings from water. Wharton told a story about a client who, right after he delivered her dining room table, her husband threw his keys down on it, and it created a big scratch. And Wharton was coming to dinner the next day, apparently, and she was absolutely mortified that there was a huge scratch in it. And when Wharton saw it, he just said, "That's part of this piece's story now." So he loved to turn that kind of damage into a positive thing, right? And then we have some of his step stools. These were more commissioned works. Often pieces started out as a commission, and if he really liked what he created, he would replicate it and sell it to other people. And that was the case often with things like this. We've got this two-tiered step stool here that kind of looks like it wants to just walk away, doesn't it? And then the library ladder was commissioned in 1966 by a woman who apparently had a fantastic book collection. And this is an abstract dancer. So if you take a look at this, the pole reaching up is her arm, kind of as she's dancing, and the spiral of the steps is her skirt as she's spinning around dancing. Dance is a theme we see throughout Esherick's work. Letty and both of their daughters were dancers. They would often visit a dance camp up in the Adirondacks every summer. Wharton apparently used to dance sometimes too at the dance camp. But again, it's that movement and that idea of flow and just natural movements captured in this piece here. So here it is, folks. Here's the studio. Here's what you're all going to come see. This is the main gallery in Wharton's studio. It is pretty much exactly the way that he left it when he died in 1970. The family moved in immediately and knew that they had to keep this treasure trove together. We've got hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of his works in this very small building. But as you move through this space, a docent will bring you through and tell you all the stories of the pieces. And you get to touch everything in that picture that's made out of wood. So you can see one of the music stands we talked about. Here's the wagon wheel chair, that desk that started it all. Lots of really wonderful pieces. The lights in that center of the photograph, if you follow them back, you see them sticking out of the wall. They are on hinges, so you can move the light to where you need it. When Wharton is designing for interiors, he thinks about how you're going to move through your space. What does your environment need to do for you, not what do you have to do in your environment? So if you're over here and the light's over there, the light should come to you. He sold lots of those. This is the dining room at the studio. This was added in 1947 when he made it his home. Do you remember the cherry tree I mentioned in the beginning? So that cherry tree eventually died. Very sad. But Wharton had the wood milled, and he paneled the dining room with that tree. It's really lovely. The floor is a work of art as well. There's a mosaic in that floor. It's not just cool shapes. There's a mosaic of his daughter, which I will save for when you come visit. We've got hammer handle chairs at the dining room table there. Wharton loved to reuse wood. So at one point there was a bad storm that damaged a covered bridge in the area. the bridge had to be completely rebuilt. Wharton salvaged the wood and created a spiral staircase going up to his son's bedroom. So spirals and recycling, big themes throughout Esherick's work. Another view of the gallery and that fantastic staircase in the center there. You get a better look at some of his purely sculptural pieces in this photograph. This piece in the center here is an abstract dancer that was actually commissioned by the city of Philadelphia as a part of their program called 2% for Art, I believe it was called. And so this is Rhythms 2. The city of Philadelphia bought Rhythms 1. He made 2 and let them pick. And you can actually go visit Rhythms 1. I believe it's in the free library in the city as well. And this is one of my favorite rooms, the view into the kitchen. So the kitchen is actually in the final edition, the silo that I talked about. It was heavily influenced by sailboats. So going back to the honeymoon in the beginning, Wharton actually really loved sailing. He was very interested in how sailboats were designed and how every inch of space in the interior of a boat is really intentional. So everything's compact, it's within reach. All of the kitchen cabinets are actually down here and they open out. And there is a lip on this kitchen counter here and all of the shelves here so that while you're out sailing, if you hit high seas, your things won't go sliding off the countertop. Just really, really fun. Wharton did quite a bit of travel over his lifetime. If you take a look at the counter height fireplace that's there on the far right of that photograph, that was inspired by his trips out to the Southwest, where he joined Connie Kanaga, or Consuelo Kanaga, who was a photographer at the time. She was commissioned by the government to go take photographs of the Native American tribes, and Wharton went with her and brought back some Adobe influence into his design. He did a lot of fireplaces like this in a couple different buildings for clients. You can see he was using the ceiling as storage space, really maximizing space wherever he could. Wharton called this building his autobiography. I told you he didn't want anybody to write about him. He said, why write about me when you can come and see what I did? And I always close my tours by telling visitors that and asking and hoping that they felt like they just spent the last hour, not with me, but with Wharton, because his personality is in every inch of this building here, and it's really not that big, but he had a big personality, and it is everywhere when you come visit. In case you're wondering what he looks like, here's Wharton. He's actually working in the 1956 workshop, which is another building we have on site. The gentleman on his left there is Bill McIntyre, who was one of the few men that Wharton actually hired to work with him. Most of the time it was a one-man show at the Wharton Esherick studio. They are working on a dining room table, and you can see he's joined these planks of wood together, and that's when he then chalks out what shape he thinks it should be, and measures it and cuts it out from there. So that is Wharton Esherick. Let me tell you how you can come visit us, because we're a little complicated. We will admit to that. We do visits by guided tour only, for which you do need to either buy tickets ahead of time or call and make a reservation. That is because our tours are limited in size, so you get the best experience that you can have. We limit them to about 10 to 12 people. So there's the information about coming on weekdays versus weekends. The second Sunday of every month, if guided tours aren't your thing, we have an open house format. You could come at 1 and stay till 4 if you wanted and wander through the studio. We also offer wine and cheese and Oktoberfest tours, where you tour the studio for an hour and then have an hour-long reception on Wharton's deck. Those are really, really fun. And then coming up on July 15th, we are celebrating Wharton's 130th birthday with half-price admission. And we will also have birthday treats like cupcakes and party hats. So come and check that out. It will be a lot of fun. Thank you so much for having me. I really enjoyed coming and sharing about Wharton Esherick. If you want to get in touch with me, this is my contact information. And it wouldn't be complete without a woodcut by Wharton Esherick called Bird in the Rain. Just lovely. So thank you.
No, I just want to make a comment because when you brought it up, and the whole time you've done this, I was thinking how visiting that place, it seemed very much alive and very vital and very, feeling like, there's a body there, there's somebody there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like I know Wharton Esherick, and we did not overlap in our lifetimes at all. But it's because I spent so much time in the place that he created. Yes.
It's very personal.
It is very personal. And that's also one of the reasons why we do the guided tours, so that you can keep that personal, intimate feeling with the artist here.
Interestingly enough, a gentleman who sells lazy book furniture found out about this and invited me to come because he knew I liked artwork. And then it's kind of interesting, lazy book furniture.
We've been approached by IKEA, actually. They want to bring their staff from their headquarters out to the museum, so that would be kind of fun. Yeah.
How many children do you have, and what became of them? Are they artists too?
Great question. So he had 3 children that survived. 1 died as an infant. None of them are living anymore. His last daughter actually passed away 2 years ago at the ripe age of 93. None of them became artists. However, they were all associated with the arts. So both daughters actually went on to successful careers as actresses. One stayed an actress, one went into stage and lighting design. One of them toured with Ringling Brothers Circus for a year, of course. And then his son Peter actually joined the Army Air Corps and was training to go off to fight in World War II right when it ended. But then he went on to become an engineer. And I think he definitely got engineering from his dad, though he had a more artistic side. When you come and see what Esherick did in person, the engineering that went into a lot of it is pretty amazing. So, yeah, great question. Anything else? Yeah.
You were saying the groups, how many, do you have to have a big group to go? If you just, like a couple people want to go, is that okay?
Yeah, so during the week, if you want to create a brand new tour, we ask that you have 5 people. If you have less than that, you can call us and see what weekday tours are going on, and we can add smaller groups to existing tours. On the weekends, there's no minimum requirements. You could come with 1, or you could come with 10 and fill up the whole tour.
But, I was there like 15, 20 years ago, and I seem to remember that parking was not so great.
It's better now.
Oh,
Yes, we now have a parking lane. When I first started, we would park people in a circle and then another circle, and it was a nightmare. So that is much more accessible now. Yeah. Anything else? Am I all going to see your lovely faces at the museum? Good. Yeah.
I was going to say, 2 things that really struck me that I wish you had pictures of. One is the roof line of the house.
Oh, yeah.
And because it's not straight, nothing is straight.
No.
It's way back.
We don't do straight.
From the outside, you look at it, and it looks like, oh, the roof is sagging. No, it's hard to
Right.
The other is the outhouse.
Yes.
The outhouse is a piece of art, it really is.
So the outhouse is actually one of our contributing buildings on our National Historic Landmark status. It's very important. So yeah, you can see the
right there.
The curve. Yeah, that was done intentionally. Wharton saw that there were no straight lines occurring naturally in nature, so he did not think he should impose straight lines on nature. And he also liked the way that old buildings eventually start to sag, so he just did it from the beginning. Yes. So there you go.
Well, thank you. That was perfect. Did you have a good night? We didn't plan it that way, but there's 2 things happening in July.
Yeah, you can come check it out. Yeah.
Thank you, everybody. I hope the
Alright, now how when you're interested in something, you see it everywhere. Like, you get a new car, all of a sudden, oh wow, there's that car. I notice it everywhere now because I have the car just like it. Well, I want to buy land. And that was the goal of buying the trailer, was to get a trailer, get land, move the trailer onto the land, and save money. Someone's going to put windows. Nice windows, too. So there's a whole bunch of... I need to go down to the paper shop, and I need to get a piece of real estate paper and see how much land is around here. Like, I see the land for sale everywhere. And I told James maybe we could put an apartment on one. Like, get a lot, build an apartment complex, and rent it out. But we are in way too much debt to do a gamble like that. He's like, oh, that's the first good idea I've ever heard you have. It's like, I have tons of good ideas. You don't talk to me, you don't know anything about me, whatever. He just doesn't let me speak, so he doesn't know anything about me. He knows, like, very little about me. He makes a bunch of guesses. apparently he sees a bunch of weak spots or whatever, but I don't know. It's crazy. But yeah, I see a bunch of land for sale, and I want land. I don't know how much this land would be. So I need to look it up and see how much it is. So, yeah, no. If I could find like a cheap $4,000 piece of land around here, it's highly unlikely. But $4,000 for the land, maybe. $3,000 for the septic tank. $800 for the electric. And $12,000 to move your property if you have a double wide trailer. So, I mean, it's doable. It's, you know, and that'd be 2 years of lot rent. The thing is, though, I don't want to be stuck here for another 2 years. I'd much rather fix up the house I have, like, focus on fixing up the house. I just went to this beautiful, artistic, creative, seminar, about, you know, how this guy built his house and stuff like that. Well, if I could maybe do something like that to our house, you know, maybe I'm good at carving art. I don't know. I'll have to try it. But if I could get like panels and different things, I bet you I could do it. Maybe free wood with you know, a wood burner tool. That'd be so awesome. And I could sell it as a piece of art and maybe sell it for like $50,000. I don't know. People are gonna be like, yeah, it's a trailer. No, it's not worth anything like that. But no, I want to put trees on the outside of it, a cherry tree, 2 apple trees, a peach tree, and maybe even a pear tree. And just be like, look at your trees and look at your land. I need to do the plots. I need to put wood finishings over the plots so that this way they look nice. And if I can't get the wood, my neighbor has wood. I'm going to collect rocks if I can't get the wood. And I'm going to put free rocks that I find around the finished garden plots. I'm hoping that someone who moves in is a gardener and wants to maybe take over my gardens, and then when I move I'm going to just recreate gardens. So that's pretty awesome. Okay, so we took a nice little walk down to the lake. All the fireflies are going on, and the moon is out.
There's the other moon. And the other shop.
Oh, that's funny. I guess the telephone camera is not nearly as good as a real camera. Look at that. But yeah, the moon is out. The bats are out. Fireflies are out. This is not the lake that Karina thought I was going to take her to. I was like, let's go for a walk down to the lake. And she's like, yeah. So she has some snacks from the car today. We didn't even go in the house yet. But yeah. It's a nice little night. I was like, we want to do the firefly frolic, and we missed it because it rained and they canceled it. So I figured, why not see them here? Nice little fireflies around the lake. See all the fireflies in the distance? I don't know if the camera's picking any of those up. It's a beautiful night. It's really beautiful day. Hear the bullfrog?
I do hear that bull.
And you do hear the bullfrog? What kind of game does my squish want to play? Besides from sit on Mama's lap and get pet.
Like the TV show.
You like the TV show? Do you want me to put on a movie for you for a little bit? Actually, no. Let's get dressed for bed. It's pretty late. You could, play with the kitchen set for a little bit, baby. Mama's gonna take like a 15-minute break and just watch a Dave Ramsey episode. Look at you. Look at you. Thank you for coming to see me. You're so cute.
Where's the pot?
Oh, shoot, mosquito did get in here.
This pot?
Get it, Squish. Can you see it? Ugh. It's gross. Stupid mosquitoes. You're such a good boy. Karina is such a good girl.
I want to play with
Karina, can you reach that clock up there? On your kitchen set, can you reach it?
I can't reach it. I can't reach it.
Yes, you can.
It's too hard.
It's too hard. Where did you learn that from? It's too hard. I can't do it. It's too hard. I can't reach it. Yes, you can. There's no such thing as can't. You just need to figure out how to do something. You can always do something. You just need to figure out how. You're the best little baby girl. What you making?
Soup.
Oh, I love it when you make soup. You're the best soup maker I know.
I'm making a pot.
Squish is so loving.
For a pot.
This is this part. I got you. Got you. Oh, little brown mosquito. So we're going around biting me over and over again. It's like I'll just take a little bit of blood here and a little bit of blood there. Go around biting you until I get caught.
I found a
You're such a little boy. You know that, little boy? You're such my little boy. You know that? So pretty. And such a pretty kitty.
I'm making hot dogs for him.
Oh, are you? Squish will love that. Not real ones, just pretend ones. Squish doesn't like real ones. We don't give Squish human food. He'll get diabetes. He's such a good boy, though. So loving.
I'm making for my sister, mom, and boy.
Good job, baby. It's for your kitten? Yeah.
Squish wants to turn around and hop, Squish. Hop like a froggy, Squish. Hop like a froggy, Squish.
First, Squish can't hop like a froggy. Yeah, only you can do that.
It's on the stove. Squish is hot.
That's, you're such a good baby. I love you. James is home, spending some time with Karina.
Oh, I thought you were still taking pictures.
We're doing some
There's
family
my
photos.
baby.
We're gonna break this glider.
Yes, we're gonna break this.
Look at
glider.
that baby.
One too many of us in here.
Yeah, probably more than one. I know. It's not licking me so bad. It's not so bad. Oh, come on. Your tongue's so bad, too. You're gross. Stop it. Today? What was your favorite part of today? Let's read this one. Patterns. Oh. Patterns. What comes next? Oh, this book got all crinkled. Frog, fish. Oh, so cold. Frog, fish, frog, fish, frog, fish, frog, fish, frog, fish, frog. What comes next? What comes after frog? Fish. Good job. Car, cup. Car, cup, car, cup, car, cup, car. What comes next? Then, after cup, what comes?
Cup.
Cup, car, cup. Puppy, puppy, he, he. Puppy, puppy, kiki, puppy, puppy, kiki, puppy, puppy, kiki, puppy. What comes next?
Puppy, kiki.
Good job. Like a baby. Touch your nose, touch your chin, 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 touch your nose, touch your chin. What comes next?
Touch your chin, touch your nose.
Touch your nose, touch your chin. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1. What comes next?
1, 2, 3.
Good job. 2, 3. After 1 comes 2 and then 3. Big dog, little dog. 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 What comes next?
Little dog, big dog.
No, big dog and then little dog. Circle, 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 line. 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 Circle. What comes next? 2 circles and a line, right?
Circle, circle, line.
Good job. Look up, look down, 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 look up.
Look up, look down.
Mhm. Look down, look up, look down.
Look down.
Yeah, Mommy says it with you all the time. Look up, look down. Baby, baby ball.
Baby, baby ball.
That's right. Baby, baby ball. Baby, baby ball. Baby, baby ball. Baby, baby ball. Baby, baby. What comes next?
He doesn't have a ball.
No, he doesn't have a ball. The ball's independent. Well, the baby and baby are all independent of each other. And then the ball's independent too. So what comes after the second baby?
The baby doesn't have a ball. No, other baby doesn't have a ball.
That's right. So it goes, what comes next with the pattern? Baby, baby. What goes here?
Ball.
And then
Ball.
ball. And then what? What comes next after the ball? What's after the ball?
Mama will give him a ball.
Yeah, the mama will give him a ball. That's right. It goes baby, baby, ball, right? So it goes baby, baby, ball.
Oh, share together.
They have to share together. That's right. And then baby, baby, ball. Baby, baby, ball. Baby, baby, ball. Baby, baby. What comes next? Ball, and then baby, baby, ball. And I'm sure the mama will give a ball to each baby, and they'll have them share. Right? Look at this. What do we got here? Rectangle, rectangle, rhombus, rhombus. Rectangle, rectangle, rhombus, rhombus. Rectangle, rectangle, rhombus, rhombus. And then what comes next?
Do the apples.
Rectangle, rectangle, rhombus, rhombus.
Bucket.
Yes.
Bucket.
Bubble, bubble, bucket.
Bubble, bubble, bucket.
Hello. Look. Bubble, bubble, bucket. Ready? Bubble, bubble, bucket. Bubble, bubble, bucket. Bubble, bubble, bucket. Bubble. What comes next?
Bucket.
After the first bubble, what comes after the first bubble?
Bubble.
There's 2
Bucket.
bubbles, right? Bubble and then bucket. Very good. Ready? Pink, purple, pink, purple, pink, purple, pink. What comes after pink?
No.
What comes next?
I'll not do it.
Okay, you don't have to do it. Cat, cat, dog, dog. You want to do this one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Cat, cat, dog.
Yeah, cat, cat, dog,
Cat,
dog.
cat, dog.
Cat, cat, dog,
Cat,
dog.
cat,
Cat, cat, dog, dog. What
dog,
comes
dog,
next?
dog, dog.
What comes after the dog?
No. Dog, cat, 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 cat. Puppy, puppy.
I love you. Alright, are we done with story time then?
No, I do pageant. I do baby ducky.
Doll, duck, duck. Doll, duck, duck. Alright, ready? Doll, duck, duck. Doll, duck, duck. Doll, duck, duck. Doll, duck, duck. Doll, duck. What comes next? What comes after the first duck?
Dolly, duck.
And then what comes after the duck?
Dolly's duck. Dolly's ducks.
So what comes next, Angel?
No.
What's up here?
No. No, no, no,
Drag
no.
it down with your eyes. Doll, duck.
Doll, duck, doll, duck,
There's two ducks, though.
doll, duck.
That's right.
Duck, oh, duck.
Alright, Mama's tired.
I
Want to do clap, clap, smile?
want to. No.
Clap, clap, smile.
Clap, clap.
Clap, clap, smile. 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 Clap. What comes next? Oh, good job.
I love my butt.
It is your butt. I got it for you. It's so cold.
No. Oh, it's not so cold.
Alright.
I'm do story time.
We did story time. It's time to sing songs.
No.
I didn't realize this fell over. I probably fell over when I brought the
Story time again.
pillow over. No, Mama's only doing one butt
Ah,
here. No. It's time to go.
do
You're allowed to cry. It's okay. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, but I'm really, really tired, honey. It's 1 o'clock in the morning. We've been out all day. Oh, I just dropped my glasses. Rock-a-bye, Karina, on the treetop.
I'm not going on a treetop.
Okay. What song you want to sing? All around the mulberry bush, the monkey chased the weasel. The monkey thought it was all in fun. Pop goes the weasel. A penny for a spool of thread, a penny for a needle. That's the way the money's spent. Pop goes the weasel. All around the mulberry bush, in and out of the evil. That's the way the money goes. Pop goes the weasel. Penny for a spool of thread, a penny for a needle. That's the way the money goes. Pop goes the weasel. All around the cobbler's patch in the evil. That's the way the money goes. Pop goes the weasel. Swing low, sweet chariot. Swing low, sweet chariot, coming forth, carrying when I looked over Jordan, what did I see? Coming forth to carry me home. A band of angels coming after me, coming forth to carry me home. Swinging low, sweet chariot, coming forth to carry me home. Swinging low, sweet chariot, coming forth to carry me home. Well, sometimes I up and sometimes I'm down. No idea who James is talking to. He's talking to himself. No bigs. Coming forth to carry me home. But still I feel my soul is having fun. Coming forth to carry me home. I have to go get the toothpaste myself. Swing. James! Will you bring me the toothpaste, please? Sweet chariot, coming forth to carry me home. Swing low, sweet chariot, coming forth to carry me home. Now if you get there before I do, coming forth to carry me home.
Papa.
What about Papa, honey? Papa's not taking you anywhere.
Papa's going to bed in a minute. Papa's getting ready for bed.
So all my friends, I'll be coming there too. Coming forth to carry me home. Swinging. Oh, okay, just making sure. Sweet chariot, coming forth to carry me home. Swing low, sweet chariot, coming forth to carry me home. Mama's gonna buy you a mockingbird. If that mockingbird doesn't sing, Mama's gonna buy you a diamond ring. If that diamond ring turns to brass, Mama's gonna buy you a looking glass. If that looking glass gets broke, Mama's gonna buy you a billy goat. If that billy goat runs away, Mama's gonna buy you a baby pony. If that baby pony doesn't say, Mama's gonna sing you some lullabies. Hush, my baby, don't you cry. Your mama's right here, she's not going away. She will sing you lullabies until the end of time. She really doesn't care, because you are my baby you. I have waited a lifetime for you. I have waited a lifetime to tell you how much I really do love you. How about you are my little butterfly, and I want to help you shine. You are my little baby girl. You are the best little girl in the whole world. You are my Karina, and Mama loves you. I'll take good care of you in my arms. I will always be here to comfort you. There's no need for any alarm. You are my baby, my sweet little lady. You are my one and only little love. You will always be here by my side, even when the stars are in the sky. You are my baby, my sweet little baby. You are my one and only little love. I hope you always know, my dear, how much I love you. I love you. 'Cause like Karina, the skies are calling your name. They're saying good night to my baby girl. They say it all the same. Good night, Karina. Dream of magical pieces. Dream of radiant faces. Dream of anything you want to be. Good night, my little baby. Anything you say is possible when you dream. So dream good things that you can do. Scale the mountain side, or swim in the ocean blue. Dream of the skies, dream of the stars. Go out and visit planets, go out and visit Mars. Dream sweet dreams. That's what I said to you. We say bye bye to you, to dreams, sweet dreams. Bye to wolf and good night to you. Bye little wolf, may your dreams come true. We sing la la to. Tonight is going to be your night to dream of impossible things. So la la to, and good night to you. La la to, may your dreams come true. May ears and Lord protect you throughout the night, till we see the morning light. Violet, and And good night to you, my little. May your dreams come true. We sing my little. May Israel protect you throughout the night till we reach the morning light. You are my baby, my sweet little baby. You are my one and only. I hope you always know my dear, how much I love you. Good night, Karina, Mama.